cam's really close up on us.
Is it really? I can move my computer back. Here we go.
No,
We're
it's me.
live.
Oh, we are totally live. It's fine. That's
That's what it
good.
was. That's what it
Whew.
was.
I was like, hold up. Like, I know my face is pretty bad, but this is super close.
This is
And yes,
us
we are live.
raw. This is us raw and uncut, guys. This is Amber and Michael raw and uncut. But welcome back. Welcome back to Count the Bucket. I'm your host, Amber Vickers, back from staycation. And we've got Michael to the right of me. Michael, go ahead and plug in all your shows. We know baseball season's in full swing.
Yes. As
Go
you can
ahead.
see, my Red Legs, we are winning. Right now, we're losing actually today, but we are 6-1. Go Reds. But as you guys can see, MD Lawson 00. That is my Twitter, my Instagram. It's also the Sports Me with the USN at the end of it. Please go follow me on all that stuff. I need to get a lot of more followers in basketball. A lot of mine are baseball oriented. I need to broaden my range here. I need my Utah fans to come out of nowhere. But please go follow me on Twitter and all that good jazz as well. What she's talking about, I am a co-host to our Backstop Banter. It's our baseball show. It's every Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, maybe a little bit later, kind of like this, where we're at 10:30. I work retail where we close at 10. Actually, we close at 9 by the time we get everything done. It's almost 10 o'clock by the time I get out of the shop. So I had to run by Food City and get the wife 2 diet pops diet sodas, before I could get home. So I was rushing. Basically, that's about it.
But you're here,
I
Michael.
am here.
Yes,
It was
we're
sweet.
back.
You fixed me some water and had me ready to go.
There we go. And you guys know me. I am Amber Vickers. I am the host, of course. I run the NBA department for the Unwrapped Sports Network. You can follow me on Twitter at simplyme_AV. All of my things are in the bio. I don't want Michael to get his pen and paper out, start writing stuff down. So I'm going to avoid it this week. I tried to avoid it. I'm sorry. I tried to avoid it. But today, talk a little bit of March Madness. We're going to talk about the standings. We're going to talk about the MVP race. Should LeBron still be in the MVP race? I'm going to let Michael give his thoughts on that. Also, who could be a dark horse MVP winner? Maybe. Also, I want to talk about Coach of the Year a little bit too, Michael. We can kind of throw that in because these awards will be coming up shortly. So we only have 19 games left in the season, guys. That's crazy.
19 games.
Yes, 19 games left in the NBA season, which, if this was a normal season, the playoffs would start the week after next. So it makes sense. But all 19 of these games are very important. You don't realize how important the games are until they're cut by 10 games. So usually we have an 82-game regular season, but they've been cut by 10 games. So these teams are jockeying for position. Before we get into the good stuff, let's promo. Okay, Michael, I'll do 2. You'll do 2. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. All right, here we go. All right. I'll do the first one, and then you can do the next one, so on and so forth. That's how we'll do it. Okay, I just got done playing basketball. I went 4-0 today. I just want to brag and say that.
Everyone you play, they need to go out and buy the RX Hemp, right? Because
there you go.
You broke ankles.
Yeah,
there you
I'm
go.
promoting it. I did miss 2 layups today, which I was very upset with. But RxHemp.com. Use the code RxHemp/USN to get 10% off of your entire order. Warm and cool therapy. I'll be ordering some of this tonight because I'm playing basketball more and I am 33. So I'm going to pay attention to this dosage. If it doesn't kick in like 10 seconds, I will not put more on. I'm just going to wait for it to kick in. I made that mistake with Icy Hot one time and I was like, oh, it's not kicking in. I said, oh,
stuff ain't that good. Let me just put half of the bottle. Okay, now we know what's going on here.
I was like, oh my goodness, I had to wash it off. But anyway, check out rxhemp.com. We have all natural ingredients. It's CBD cream, celebrity believers, anything you could ever want in the cream, RX Hemp has it. Check that out, guys. Use the code USN RxHemp/USN to get 10% off your entire order. Jiminy Christmas.
You want me to go now?
Yep, you can go ahead and go now.
Okay, let's see here. I think it's pulling up. The only thing I hate, and I've got to get better with this. Yes, there it is.
There it
is
is.
working my two different screens. One of these days, I might actually have like two monitors going where I can pull and drag. That would be sweet, but I'm 35 years old now because I just had a birthday, which you didn't tell me happy birthday. It was
I don't
2 days
celebrate
ago.
birthdays or holidays, remember?
Why not?
Ooh, how long you
You
got?
going to, well, okay, we'll go back to our Patreon. So please go to patreon.com/unwrap sports. Don't type in just unwrap because that is not us. I found that out the hard way. It is / or / whatever you want to call unwrap sports. And it brings up all of our memberships that we have here. We have 3 different tiers or levels. The first one is just the Unwraps fan. It's just $1. It's just basically say, hey, I like your content. I appreciate what you do. I'm poor, so here's you $1. And we do appreciate every donation that we can get on this. It's just basically, as it says here, general support. Excuse me. We have our Silver Star or the Unwrapped family. It's $5 per month, and we thank you so much for that. And you get 10% off the Patreon code to the Unwrapped Sports Teespring shop, which I'm sure Amber or myself may talk about. Not sure which one we're going with there. And also, you'll have access to our 24/7 Patreon only Discord chat, where we have all kinds of different categories, I guess, if you will. If you've ever been on Discord, you kind of know how it's set up there, where we've got bets, we've got music, we even have some food talk going on, baseball, basketball, football, gambling. I don't know if I said that already. So it's just a lot of fun. And some of the talk that we can get into, it's crazy. But also, you can get a discount code for the Unwrapped Sports Shop. I already said that. And I think this is where you can get a chance to win an Amazon gift card. But then the main one that we'd love for all of our subscribers to do is the Unwrapped VIP, the gold star, if you will. It's $10 per month. Not only do you get that 10%, it increases to 20% Patreon code for an Unwrapped Sports t-shirts. And also the access to our Discord, but also this time you can actually interact with us. Now, the main kicker on this is we do a memorabilia drawing each month. I say it that way because it could change in what we do or what we have. We've done it for 2 months. The first month was Keenan Allen jersey. I can't remember who won it. I want to say it was obviously Amber here, who says she never wins anything. And then this month, March's month, we drew for a Chicago Bears David Montgomery jersey, I think it was. And Garrett from Iowa, as you see on our stuff all the time, Garrett, he won that shirt. So we haven't discussed what's going to be for April. I really hope it's something baseball. And guys, I'm going to say this. I can't emphasize this enough if you're still watching on or paying attention to our ad here. Our Patreon is very fresh. As I just said, we've done 2 months. This is start of our third. So our commitment hasn't been there, isn't reached its capacity yet. So these drawings, these gift wins like this are very small. So if you enter now, you have probably a better chance right now to win these giveaways than 6 months from now. So try to go ahead and jump on that where you can really take advantage of that and win this great gear. There, Amber.
Okay, I'm going to do my bookie because I'm going to let you do the Teespring shop.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
MyBookie.ag, use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. Have to remember all these codes. I say it all the time. I don't know why I don't remember. All right, guys, we got boxing, UFC, baseball.
I got mine wrote down.
The NBA, a lot of NBA. The Masters, of course, a lot of baseball going on right now. What is this? FCS football. Yeah, FCS football. Wow. I didn't even know that. There's a lot, guys. There's a lot. Hockey. There was the Grammys were on here. You just go to mybookie.ag. You just go there, guys, and win some money. And when you win that money, you can spend it on our shop. And Michael's going to tell you about our shop.
I like how you threw me into that. That's nice. Good transition there as I'm trying to delay to bring it up. There we go. Unwrapped Sports has our Teespring shop, and it is teespring.com/store/unwrapped. That's where I messed up on my unwrapped earlier. But all this gear here, I already spent like 10 minutes talking about the last one, so I try not to speak too much on this one. But you can see all these different gears. Every show that we have has their own merch, as I'm continuing to load here. You got the Friends dedicated one, just the Superstar, the Hollywood Walk. And I will pull this up here. We have Backstop Banter gear. Got me a mask.
There you go. There we go.
the Generation Z. We have Fourth Man Podcast, and then also the People's XFL Show. Garrett from Iowa. I said it right that time. Ladies first. Saturday standouts, backstop banter, business casual basketball, and the list goes on for many more on there. Please go check that out. This is another way that we actually can get paid. We make a little bit of percentage off of our merch. So go check that out. Use those promo codes after you sign up with the Patreon.
All right.
I feel like I did better from the first time that you threw this on me. I feel like I did good.
See, Michael, we're all about development here on Unwrapped Sports Network. There we go, Michael. Good job, Michael. All right. Now, guys, March Madness. Michael and I were right. Baylor won.
We were from day one.
We were right. I wish Baylor could have won it last year and been back-to-back champs, and I really would have felt good about myself. I wish my women's pick would have came through, too. But it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I got it next year, hopefully. So, Michael, I picked South Carolina. South Carolina to win it all, but, they came up short. So, hey, I took an L, but it's all right. They played very, very well. They'll be back next year. They got the #1 recruiting class. They'll be back. Aaliyah Boston will be a junior. Zaya Cook will be a junior. They'll be fine.
Shout for Iowa next year.
Yeah.
That girl's a freshman. She's going to be a sophomore. I can't remember her name.
Yeah.
But she is lights out.
Caitlin Clark. Yeah, she's
Clark.
really good. She's good. I mean, it's just I love college basketball so much. I don't know if I'm biased because I play college basketball. I don't know, but I would rather watch. I'm saying this live here on Count the Bucket. I'd rather watch a college basketball game than watch a professional game. I'm a college sports person type of. For me.
I'm going to say this. I'm right there with you. I think anyone who would rather watch the NBA or a professional sport is more into the showboating and just to highlight the celebrities, that kind of feel. Like if you're wanting to watch a team play and actually play with heart, you're going to go to the college level, in my opinion. Straight up, I feel like that's it. You actually see all 5 players playing. Like I was watching the highlight as I was driving home, not as I was driving.
It's okay.
I want to say it was Kevin Durant dunking on Drummond. And, of course, Bleacher Report is like, KD dunks all over Drummond. I'm like, okay, I've got to check this highlight out as I'm driving. And, like, Drummond is trotting from half court. Like, they're side by side. It's not really much hustle. Like in college, turnover, whatever happens, everyone busts their butt to get back. This guy, he's just nonchalant coming down. And then, like, Kevin Durant already had, like, 2 steps ahead of him. And he does slam a hard slam down. And Drummond makes a play trying to block it. But I'm like, hey, that wasn't really like he dunked all over him. To me, when I hear dunk all over him, like the guy's already at the goal, jumps up trying to block it, and it's in its face.
Mm-hmm.
But when someone is like coming from behind trying to make a play and block it, that's not really dunk on in my book. But NBA is all about that hype, and that's where I think some people like that more. But me, I would definitely rather watch a 5-player team actually playing together constantly than NBA.
I know
playoffs.
Playoffs
are different.
A little different. Yeah, they're different. But I would still rather watch March Madness than the playoffs.
Ooh, well,
because it's single elimination. Like I like
Cinderellas. Are beautiful.
Oh my goodness! I mean, and for me, I can even go as far as saying this. I don't know if many people agree with me because a lot of people don't watch the WNBA, but I do. I'd rather watch the WNBA playoffs because it's 5-game series. Back in the day, it used to be 5 games and they went to 7 for the finals. But I'd rather watch the WNBA playoffs because it's more competitive because you only got 5 games.
Right.
Then watch the NBA playoffs. And I mean, they don't happen at the same time, thank goodness. March Madness, my screens, my computer was overheating, my iPad was overheating, my phone was overheating. I probably I have a smart TV, so probably was smart enough not to overheat. I was trying to watch the men and women at the same time. I'm like, why do you do this to me? Like, what is going on here? But I'd rather watch, if you ask me if the WNBA and the NBA play at the same time, playoffs, I would probably watch the BBA more because I get 5 games and I know it's going to be intense 5 games. With the NBA in the first round, you kind of know, like, all right, and the WNBA doesn't do East and West. They just do the top teams. So the top 8 go.
Okay.
Now, this new play-in format the NBA has could be a little interesting. Now, I will watch the play-in games. Those are going to be interesting, 7 through 10. So I think 7 and 10 will play, and then 8 and 9 will play, and then whoever wins will play that game. So that's going to be very interesting. I think they did a good job with that. But if I had my pick, that's me though. Everybody's opinion is different. But how did you feel about March Madness this year?
You know, I didn't get to watch nearly as much as I wanted to, but I was upset with a couple losses. Ohio State killed me in my brackets. I want to say even Illinois kills me too. I had Houston going kind of far. Had them, I think, in the Final Four, actually. So that hurt me a little bit, not too bad. I did have Baylor winning it. So we had our little panel that we had. The young guns were going for Illinois, I think.
Illinois, yep.
You and I, we were like, it's going to be Baylor. Let's just go ahead and get that straight. So they were just, in my opinion, they were a solid team. Gonzaga, kudos to you all, undefeated up until when it matters. And you choked. But they were all offense. I can't say anything bad about them because they went undefeated until the last game. But like I said, every time we've talked about them, I can't put my faith in them until they actually prove it. So I'm still the same way. I look like a genius. But, I mean, I was entertained. I picked the Loyola pick. So I was happy about that. The Chicago team, Sister Jean. Sister Jean. I was going to say Sister Mary Clarence, but that's Sister Act. That's not right.
Sister Act.
I mean, it was fun. It was interesting. There were some things that I didn't like so much, but that's here or there. Everything can't be perfect. We know that. How about you? What did you like and dislike about it?
I'll go on the women's side first. The women's side, I said this on Ladies First. They didn't treat the women fairly. I could go into a whole rant about that, but I won't do it. But as far as the games go, the officiating was a little suspect in the Elite Eight, a little suspect in the Final Four. The officiating was pretty good in the finals, though. It was pretty good in the title game with Arizona and Stanford, so I appreciated that. But I really liked March Madness this year. I was very in tune with both men's and women's tournaments. And I like that the women got coverage on ESPN, ESPN2, and ABC. So it was available for everybody to watch. I like that they highlighted, Paige against Caitlin Clark on ABC, and then you got to see UConn and Baylor on ABC. So I like that kind of coverage that the women's game was getting. The ratings were up this season and the men's ratings fell. I don't know why the men's ratings fell. I'm trying to figure that one out. I know why the women's ratings rose, because you put it visible to the public. You know what I mean? They usually play on ESPN and ESPN2, but then you added ABC and everybody has ABC. So I don't know why the men's fell.
A bit biased here, but do you think it might be because Kentucky nor Duke was in the tournament? I mean, Kentucky, we're crazy. Like, we go to Bahamas to watch them play. We always
it could be that, but they disappoint you every year, though. I mean, it could be that.
Who does?
Because
it disappoints you every year.
They don't. I mean, the Blue Bloods do. I mean, because one of those little small teams like Northern Iowa that upset Kansas that year when people had Kansas to win it all.
I agree.
People want to see something different. People were happy to see Gonzaga go undefeated because they're a small school.
That's me, though.
Yeah, that's you. People were happy to see. Oh, Connie.
Thank you, Connie. I appreciate that so much. I mean, Amber is a very good host. You don't need to be talking bad about her. That's just not right.
Well, Connie, we love you. We love you, Connie. I think the reason why ratings fell, one, I think because men's and women's were on at the same time, which it happens all the time. I think people were intrigued about the women's tournament, especially after the social media posts about how they were treated and things like that. Two, I think another reason why the men's tournament didn't do as well could be because some of those Blue Bloods weren't in the tournament. Michigan State got bounced first four. Duke and North Carolina got bounced early. Duke didn't make it. Kentucky didn't make it. That could have some reason behind that. And three, people probably did not watch college basketball that much this year because the season was so like this. You know what I mean? The season was so up and down. and you tried to have to have a team that you were going to cheer for, right? Like when the season starts, you got your team, right? You got your, like, this is who I'm cheering for. You know, I really want them to win it all, even if it's not your hometown team or where you graduated from. There were a lot of factors that played into their ratings, but I'm happy that the women's ratings were boosted. I'm happy that my pick won. I'm happy Baylor won. I'm proud of Gonzaga, but Baylor ran Gonzaga off the floor. They've never seen a team like that. Teams in the Big 12 are used to Baylor's play. You know, they're used to it. Okay, we see them twice a year, maybe 3 times. We play them in a tournament. But Gonzaga's not used to that. More athletic. They were faster, more physical, and they knocked down shots. And people were like, Gonzaga had a hangover from UCLA. No, Gonzaga just got ran off the floor.
Yeah.
Period. I mean,
I've said this since day one. If Gonzaga really wants to be a good team, they've got to get in a better conference.
Yeah, they do.
I think that will always be an argument. And it's probably not fair to them, but until they prove me wrong, it's a great argument for me. So, I mean, how many years is it now that they've had such a great record and still end up falling short? You know, I'm okay, like 19, 20, 23 wins, losing 7, 8, 10 games and making the playoffs and pushing into March Madness and still falling short at Final Four or Sweet 16 even. Because it's hard to get to the Final Four. Mm-hmm. But when you're losing like 1, 2, 3 games year in, year out, and you're going out third round, you make it to the championship, which is obviously something great for them to do, but you still fell up short. Like, it's just always going to be over them. It's kind of like the Kershaw of the Dodgers, you know, can't do it in the World Series. Okay, you finally did it. They've got to do it, and I think they need to switch conferences. I will always say that until they do it or until they actually win the championship, because Baylor mopped the floor with them. I mean, it was a blowout win.
It wasn't close. So, it wasn't close.
You got to do something. Like, I would rather Gonzaga, like I said, struggle at making 20 wins and making a push in the playoffs instead of having a perfect record and going to the playoffs in March Madness and just losing. Would you, or are you happy with this undefeated team? Because to me, it's always false hope. Like, oh, there's going to be, but no, they're not that. I don't want to say they're not that good because that's just unfair. They're not playing to the potential or to their level of greatness, I guess. I mean,
well, there's a lot of factors in the switching conferences, because if they go to a bigger conference, let's say if they went to the Pac-12, right? Which would be their conference, I believe, if they were to do it. I don't think they would do Mountain West. I think it would be, because they're in the WCC right now. So it'd be Pac-12. That's money. So money plays a factor in everything in college sports. You know that they would have to move conferences money-wise, and they would have to change their program to Pac-12 standards. It's a lot to switch conferences. It's a lot. I think in the next 5 years, they might think about doing that. Or they might be in talks. We never know.
Right.
They're getting top recruits. They got a top recruit just, what is his name? I forgot his name, but they got a top recruit coming in next year.
Really?
Jalen Suggs will be a top, 3 pick, more than likely. So they're getting the guys. Mark Few is getting the guys. Timmy is just a sophomore. Timmy's going to be a junior next year. Kispert is going on to the league. AIE is going on to the league. Kispert actually might come back. He might use his eligibility, but I know AIE said he was going to the NBA. He's declaring for the draft. They're getting players. Nembhard transferred from Florida. He was a key contributor for them. Mark Few is getting the players. So the competition is the biggest thing, but you can only schedule so many out of conference games.
Can you tell me anyone that's in the NBA that went to Gonzaga?
Yeah, that's something I have to think about, because I have to think about every roster. Adam Morrison had a little stint in the NBA. Didn't last long.
I mean, his mustache was bigger than his stint in the NBA.
Yeah. I would have to look at the rosters, Michael. That would take some research. We're going to do that next week. We're going to tell you how many players from Gonzaga are in the NBA.
I mean, just throwing this out here. Can you tell me, like, any players that played in the NBA that went to Kentucky? I mean,
Michael, don't do that.
or even Oklahoma.
Well, there's a couple. I mean, Oklahoma's not a basketball school, though. It's
but
really
you can
not.
still at least name.
Yeah, you can. But that's the Big 12 and the SEC. I mean, come on now. They're power conferences. Is that what you're saying?
This is the best team in college this year, right? I mean,
But
as far as
Michael,
that's what I'm trying to say.
NBA is different.
Exactly.
It's a different breed.
I agree.
Yeah.
100% agree with you on that. It's different styles and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, though, it almost says a little bit that the record is disguising.
Okay.
That's what I'm kind of getting to on the point. Like, we can't say, I mean, yes, they're superstars now. Even Suggs, who looks wonderful when he gets to the NBA, will he fall off because it's totally different? I don't think so. I think this will be probably the only person that we can actually say, hey, this guy went to Gonzaga. But he's got a lot depending on that. But what I'm sitting here thinking, and I don't know, this is new to me, I've not even really thought about it. Could they pull a Notre Dame and be like their own little independent and just schedule whoever they want?
That takes money and time as well.
Because to me, that might be their best option. Because even, I mean, like you're saying, Pac-12 doing all the standards on there, what if they could just say, hey, we're just going to play each team or one team from each conference and make our own, basically our own little schedule that we do here and just play it that way. I would rather them do that than what they're doing now. And again, I don't know if they can do it. I've not put any thought into it whatsoever. You just said switching is hard, and I was like, could they be a Notre Dame of football?
Notre Dame is Notre Dame, though. Notre Dame has, I think it costs almost $80,000 a year to go there. So
how much?
Almost 80. I know when I was I had a friend, he got a football scholarship to Notre Dame. He was a kick returner. He told me that this was 15 years ago. He told me his scholarship was $60,000 out of state, of course, because he was in Oklahoma. His scholarship was $60,000 a year, which, inflation happens every 2 years at colleges. So I'm pretty sure it's probably close
except
to
for pay raises.
Yeah, that's ridiculous because it costs about $65 to go to Baylor for a year, and it costs because it's a private school. Notre Dame is a private Catholic school, so it's expensive. Gonzaga costs about $63 to go there a year.
Really? So I mean, maybe
the money's there, but will the West Coast Conference release them because Gonzaga might be their moneymaker? Got to think about that too.
Ooh.
Money, Michael. It all comes down to the dollar bill.
I mean, you say that, we all know that, but that's why we have 7-game playoffs in the NBA. It's not to really determine who the best team is. It's to say, hey, I'm going to get these fans here for another game. Money, money, money.
Money, money, money. And it's sad to see how as college sports is ran like that as a business, but it is a business. And you treat the athletes like, use your words wisely. You treat the athletes like not even employees. You can't even say employees because they're not really getting paid. What word would you use to describe how the NCAA treats the athletes? It's hard at it because they're not really employees.
Yeah, I mean everyone thinks they don't make anything, but they are like stimulus, if you will, of like stipends. I think is what they get, like meals and stuff, which ain't much at all. Don't get me wrong. I don't.
It sure isn't. Trust me, I know.
It's.
But for the money they bring in,
right. All I can think of, where you throw me out here under the bus on this, all I can think of is husky dogs. Like, you think you're these sleds that they pull up for these races and stuff.
Yeah.
The man is what's in control. They can win stuff, and the dogs are just running for their lives. Like, there's nothing for these college players in anything form of faction. But if the man wins, you get like $1 million. That's the only thing I can think of right now. So thank goodness I said it. Now it's out of my head and I can move on. But yeah, I don't even know what you call them. I mean,
I don't either because they're not.
I mean, yeah, I say we move on off of that.
We're gonna move on off of that because it's hard to describe what the college athlete is. But they will. Did you see the UCF jerseys? They got their Twitter handle at the back. Hold on. Let's look that up. I'm going to show you guys something real quick. It's on my Twitter.
Everything is on your Twitter.
Man, you know what? I try to, because I do that so I can talk about it on the show so I won't forget and things like that. Okay, I'm going to share my screen in a minute. Let me see. Did I retweet it? I had to have retweeted it. I think I did. I hope I did because they have their Twitter handles as their last names now, which is pretty
okay.
dope. It's got to be on here, Amber. I've retweeted a lot of stuff. There it is right there. Okay, let me share my screen. Don't want to be selfish, Amber. Share that screen.
Share it.
You see that? Their Twitter handles, the UCF Twitter handles. You see that?
Oh, yeah.
Or Instagram or whatever social medias are.
Mhm.
I think that is super dope for their spring game. They did this for their spring game. And
That is pretty nice.
That's pretty nice. That means, your likeness, they're going to start paying players for their likeness. I think Florida and California have passed it. Don't let me be wrong. I think Florida has.
Don't let me be wrong. I like that.
Don't let me be wrong. I say that a lot, but
that
I
needs
think
to be a shirt.
Yo, trademark. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting, and I saw that, and I said, "Wow, that's interesting," because they're getting verified now.
Yes.
On Twitter and Instagram. So, can we see a change from the NCAA finally? As much money as y'all make?
Here's the thing, and I'm just going to be truthful. I don't like that the players don't get paid. But how can you? How are you going to justify on who gets paid what then? Can it be just
likeness? It'll just be likeness. Let's say Trevor Lawrence. He's trending on Twitter. Him and Justin Fields are trending on Twitter because they played each other in the semifinal. That should be money. That should be money in their pockets. I think the Twitter and the NCAA should have some type of partnership, or in Instagram, they should have some type of partnership in Facebook, some type of partnership with the NCAA, these social media sites, TikTok, Snapchat, all these social media sites should partner with NCAA to say, okay, how many tweets per hour? Because you see who's trending, you see who's trending on Twitter, and try to pay them a percentage of that. Because Twitter's making money off of that. Did you not know that? Twitter's making money off the trending topics. They make money off that.
No, I did not know that. We need to make us an unwrapped thing here where we get paid for this stuff. But what I'm interested now, and the wheels are turning here. A long time ago here in little old Harlan County, Kentucky, there was a lady where she pulled up to this garbage bag. It's on the side of the road, and she was videoing it, and the bag was moving. And she opened it up, and there was a puppy in there. Somebody had just taken a trash bag and was trying to kill their dog. And she recorded this oh, my goodness, this is horrible. This made national news, actually, at her video. And where I'm going with this, just bear with me, even Australia had a thing on it. Well, somebody reached out to her about copywriting her video to make money off of it because people were using it so much. Could athletes actually, copyright their names? So, even when ESPN were to say Trevor Lawrence did this here, if you're going to talk about me, I get something off of that. I can see that being
that should be consideration.
Because if you're going to write an article about me and get likes, let's take this even further, okay? You're making money off of me as a college, but what about ESPN and all these Fox Sports News or Fox Sports and everything that they're making money off of too? Because you write an article about these athletes and who's going to do what, then shouldn't they be getting a kick off of that as well? That's also true, is it not? So maybe it's not just the colleges we need to be talking about. Even ratings on as far as ESPN covering the bowl games, money goes to the colleges for coming to the games because of copy or broadcastings. Why not the players as well? I think it's something big. Oh, I had never really thought of this. Thank you for chiming in on this. Of course, it's a great idea. Oh, and also, do you like the shirt? He played in our church league with us.
Church league, stand up. One time for the church league. Yeah. Thank you for commenting. We appreciate that. But yeah, it's so much that goes into it. If these social media sites really want to, because they would make money too. It's not like they're not making money anyway. So why not partner with the NCAA and the athletes to say, okay, you're verified, you got a blue check. Let's get you some money made. Or let's be honest.
Even us, if we were making money and talking about the March Madness and Baylor, should we not have to be giving them something because we're talking about them? I mean, obviously
Yeah.
we're not making money because you need to go to the Patreon, make your $10 a month of donations. Therefore, you signed up to us where you can help us out.
Nice
But
plug in.
thank you. This Patreon, in Kentucky where I'm at, Patreon is not a very big thing. This is a whole new thing to me. Candace Owens, I absolutely love her and what the different things she put on. She actually has a Patreon that helps pay for her a lot of things she does political party. I'm not getting all the politicals, but I was like, hey, Patreon, I know what that is now. And so I'm like, wow, this is really cool.
He misses playing with you. Oh, you miss Michael.
Oh, yeah. We weren't on teams, though, so that makes me feel any better or even bad. I don't know which one. Maybe it's like I love playing and because you're not that good. But you know what?
Oh.
This big old guy could cross some people up a few times.
Or guard Michael in the building.
Yes.
You know what I also think? With the way that money is made these days, the way these kids have YouTube channels and they're making money, and social media, it's such a big thing. Why can't just throw this thought out here? Social media scholarships for athletes, for top athletes.
Social media?
Yeah, social media scholarships for top athletes.
Why does it have to just be top athletes though?
Because they're talked about the most. That's who's gonna make the most money off of likeness.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's who, because you don't know about nobody knew. Well, I knew this because Tulsa is up.
I'm sorry. I just went to 50 Cent when you said that. Don't about me. Sorry, keep going. Okay. ADHD. Tell you.
RIP DMX, by the way.
That's a sad day for me.
It is.
DMX was solid. Like, I don't care what you got going on in your life. You can listen to any
DMX song.
You can party to it. You can lift weights to it. You can get ready for any kind of ball game. DMX, that's where it's at.
DMX. I had to throw that in there, guys. But for me, this is my point. Let's say this, because the top athletes likeness, this was my point. Nobody knew that Max Abmas was the top scorer in the NCAA. I knew that because ORU is in Tulsa. It's probably an hour and a half from me. I knew that, but the country did not know that. So when ORU played Ohio State first, right? They played Ohio State first round. People were like, who is this guy? He's the leading scorer in the NCAA. But people didn't know that. So his likeness went through the roof during March Madness. But you got guys like Suggs and Kay Cunningham. Their likeness was throughout the year. But when March Madness happens, you see these guys that you have never heard of from these small schools, sometimes big schools that have a good March Madness, and their likeness goes through the roof. So their March paycheck will probably be bonkers. Their March and April paycheck will probably be bonkers, you know. But you have those top guys. You have those top guys that their names are coming up constantly on Twitter or constantly on Facebook or whatever, that would probably benefit the most. And then you have those guys in March. You know what I mean? Those underdogs.
Oh, yeah.
So
the Sister James.
That's why I said that social media scholarship it'd be legit. I would love to see that. I would love to see social media as a major in college as well.
The only thing I see that would be a problem is I don't think the social media would have to jump in to make a scholarship. That would just be almost something that they just said, hey, we're going to take ownership of this and do, which would be great because it would be great publicity for them as well. I also think it would take social media from our athletes even to a higher level. Like they would actually try to do more. I think it would open up so much more to like having in your locker room stuff going on like that. Probably should see some stuff that we shouldn't be hearing too, but we love that stuff.
But yeah, but they can kind of shield that a little bit. But also with social media is branding yourself, entrepreneurship, ownership. That's the key to life. I'm sorry. It is these days. It's the key to life. Nobody wants to work for somebody else. I've learned that. And our generation behind us, Michael, like the 20-year-olds, they don't want to work for somebody. They want to do it themselves because it's too much money to be made to be working for somebody else. I'm learning that right now.
And it's so easy. That's what's crazy. Like,
it's easy to make your own money.
Okay. I'm just going to talk about my kids a little bit here.
Okay.
I have 2 4-year-olds and a 3-year-old.
Oh.
We watch on YouTube something called Ninja Kids. Have you heard of them? Okay, they're like, the oldest is 16, actually 17 years old. Just found that out because we're like, oh, this kid, he's like so much older than the rest of them. But it goes all the way down to like a 6-year-old. And they did a parody of Power Rangers. And I had to look them up because they do different things now where their whole family has a video camera of something to run around. They actually played Among Us, if you've heard of that game. They actually played a live version of Among Us, and it had like millions of views. So I checked it up. Their 6-year-old son that has a twin was worth $2.5 million. Just to video their life. Like, if you're smart enough in social media and how to do this stuff and edit, you can be a millionaire just by doing content. There is likable,
very likable.
There is a fans only or OnlyFans, whatever it is, of a overweight woman that they pay her money to eat things.
Like a mukbang? They call it a mukbang on YouTube, but
I have no idea. Somebody was telling me about this because I was talking about Catch Me Outside girl who just turned 18 and instantly in an hour became a millionaire. And one of the girls at work was like, there is a woman that's like 600 pounds. Like, people chime into her and say, hey, we want to watch you eat this. And so she'll buy it and eat it and they'll pay it. Like, where has this been my whole life?
For real. Michael, what are we doing wrong? I told my mom that I watch Love After Lockup, guys. I watch Love After Lockup. My auntie got me into it.
Love After Lockup?
Yes. Okay. It's as good as it sounds, let me tell you. We're all off topic here, guys, but it's going to all make sense.
If it doesn't, we'll become millionaires. Let's just be honest.
Millionaires. Yeah, we're going to become millionaires. Perry, we'll give Perry 10%. All right, here we go. It's called Love After Lockup. And these people are incarcerated, but they find love, on the internet and things like that. There are men paying women like $30,000, $40,000. This woman was like, I've been incarcerated for 7 years, and over 7 years, I've made about 40 grand off of him. I said, 40 grand? What am I doing wrong? Just writing letters and, just conversation, because you can't do anything. I mean, you can't technically do anything.
The person
incarcerated.
The person that's incarcerated is making this much money?
Yes.
Or the people out?
No. The person incarcerated, her lover, she said, I have different lovers. I have a lover for money and commissary. I have a lover for conversation. I said, what am I doing wrong? I looked at my mom and said, Mother, what am I doing wrong? Do I need to be incarcerated, make a quick 40, 50 grand, buy a house in Oklahoma, flip it, and then make another 80 grand? I'm just saying. I'm just
Garrett,
saying.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Garrett. You got the conversation Love After Lockup. The conversation. Oh yeah, shout out to Garrett. He did sideline reporting today. So
yes,
shout out to you.
We need
Garrett.
To know how that went.
Yeah, we need to hear about that. Shout out to you. But yeah, that's crazy.
I can't get too personal on my story, but my father has told me of people that we know that ended up getting married after a person came out of jail. Okay, I'll just say it that way and leave it as blunt as there.
All right.
But like, how does the relationship start there? Like, do you just write a letter and say, send this letter to the jail?
They have prison pals.
Find the prettiest guy in there and just give them that letter, and we'll take off from there. Like, I mean, what do you do? Like, do you go to like the detention center and say, "Oh, you're arrested for that. You're kind of cute for manslaughter."
It's called
write you a letter.
Prison pen pals. You can go online. It's a site. We're not going to bring this up on Count the Bucket, guys. We're not going to screen share.
Share your screen.
I don't even have it pulled up.
You're not going to share it because you're going to type in P and it's going to pop up prison pen pals. Oh, they know I look at this a lot.
So this is how it happens. What I've been told via the television. So they have prison pen pals. Love After Lockup is great. I'm hooked. I've been watching for the past 2 years. So they have prison pen pals. You type in that and you see, like people that are single, that want to talk to you. It becomes conversation, and the conversation becomes, visitation. The next thing you know, you got money on your books every week. I'm like, dude, you got money to make phone calls. I'm like, listen, Jackie, which is my mom's name, what are we doing wrong in life? I I just really want to know. I'm not gonna get an OnlyFans because I would never put my body out there like that. But if all you want to do is watch me eat, yeah.
I mean, why not?
I don't weigh 600 pounds, but if you want to watch me eat and
if I become a millionaire for doing it, I'll be.
If I become a millionaire for eating, I mean, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
There's nothing explicit about me eating food. I'm just saying.
It's just doesn't make
amazing.
sense.
We say all that. Go ahead, Michael.
I did see a commercial, and I don't even know what it was on. It was something that was crazy, but it was talking about you buy a house and you're imprisoned for it for 30 years to pay it off, or you rob a bank to have enough money to buy a house, and if you're caught, you only do 10 years. I was like, well, I mean, that's one way of looking at it, I guess. You rob the money,
they seize assets. They seize assets at that point. So you probably wouldn't be able.
You're looking too much actually literally into it.
I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry. I'm analytical. Okay. Law and society was my major. Okay, God. Goodness.
What was?
Law and society. I was going to go to law school. Okay. I was going to go to law school. Shout out to Jesse. He's got into law school.
Okay.
Yeah, I was. But I just didn't take the LSAT. I studied for it. Just didn't take it. But
you just didn't take it?
I didn't take it because I got a job. I ended up getting a job. And I was like, be $90,000 in debt or take this job. I think I'll take the job.
Okay. Before you hit go live, you said nobody wants to go back to work, especially if they don't like their job.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you shouldn't take this test?
Michael, here's the thing. The way that my finances are set up, I don't want any more debt. My DTI, my debt to income ratio is very nice right now. I don't want $100,000 in student loans. I just don't want it. To get a job making
you don't have to pay those back. I mean, what are they going to do? Take your loan away? You take your degree?
Michael, I think I'm honestly, if I was to go back to law school, if I was to try to go to law school, it would have probably been around 25, 26.
Okay.
Right so now, I'm wanting to do sports, so it's just kind of like my mind's made up in my 30s. But if I was in my early 20s, I probably would think about it. But mid-20s,
have you thought about seeing about, since you know some stuff about law, thought about agency?
I did. I've talked to some sports agents, actually. And it's something I'm interested in. It's just hard to break into as a woman, and I talk to female agents. It's very tough. I mean, it's really tough. And the 90% of them that I talk to have a law degree.
Really?
Yeah.
Because big Trevor Bauer fan. I know you at least know the name Trevor Bauer. Luba, I think it is. They went to college together. I think UCLA, and I think she is a law graduate. That's what I was even thinking. And she said that it was very hard.
It's hard.
There's actually, I think they did like a small documentary on it, and she was like, I would go into offices and they'd say, "Oh, you're a girl, just don't even bother coming on in." So I understand, but I think
it's something that I thought about, Michael. It's interesting
because
it is interesting.
With my baseball, if you ever watch my show, Dalton, I've talked tons with him. He's a college player that's flirting with possibly making in the draft. We don't really know what's going on there. And I've actually reached out to some MLBs to try to get him some help. And I looked into the agency, and it's like $2,500, and then you got to do like a little test of some sort. I'm like, if I had $2,500, if I get a couple more steamies, maybe I might consider this, just so I can say, hey, I got that. Because I do have a cousin that he's an agent with some like celebrities and does different things like that. It's like Comic-Cons and stuff. And I'm like, maybe I'd at least have someone I could talk to, be like, okay, I don't know what goes on in sports stuff, but at least I know this with their end. Because really, if you think about it, if you get one person to buy into you,
the floodgates are open.
Yeah, because I mean, if you make someone sign $1 million contract and you get 6%
after taxes, it's still good.
There you go. After taxes, after I give Jackie some money.
Shout out to Jackie. Love you, Mom. But I think about that, Michael. I do, but I'm analytical, so I think about everything that comes with it. I that's just who I am. I took the test in college. I know who I am. I embrace Amber. I embrace me. Like Kyrie, he embraces himself. I embrace Amber. You guys, we
Kyrie,
kind
the world is circle. Sorry.
Kyrie, the world's flat. I love you. He got ejected tonight. That was crazy. All right. Speaking of NBA,
Oh yeah, this is Count the Bucket.
this is Captain Bucket. You
This
guys
is not
getting
live with Amber and Michael.
you guys getting life news. We're open here at the Unrest Sports Network, right? We're open. So speaking of the NBA, you guys want to look at some ratings? Let's look at some ratings, Michael. Let's
go.
Let's jump into these. I'm going to share my screen in a minute. Let me type in ESPN.com.
Don't be
These
selfish.
ratings should be. I will share it. They should be updated. I just wanted to make sure my internet was. Come on, ESPN. Come on. The Rockets and the Warriors are playing, and the Warriors are blowing the Rockets out. Okay, here we go. Let's go to standings. There are some games in progress right now, guys. But these are semi-updated, I guess you can say. Let me go ahead and share that with you.
As you're bringing it up, all I can think now, man, what if like Instagram opened up, spent like a couple $1 million and said, okay, listen, we want you to start going to ball games and recording and actually talking with the players and let the players know the more they do with us, the more we're going to pay them for the viewers that we get.
They could do
that would be pretty cool.
Almost.
I mean, it would probably take down ESPN pretty quick because everyone is
it would.
all about social media.
And ESPN is already struggling anyway. So
yeah,
it would definitely, like if Bleacher Report decided, we want to pay athletes or Ball is Life or any of these, people that create content with these high school players.
Sports.
Yep. Or Unwrap Sports. We could do that. We want a piece of the pie too. Perry, think about that, Perry. Think about that. Bally Sports is now a thing. And
I did not know this until baseball started. Like I was like, what is Bally? I thought it was Bali at first. I was like, well, that's a cool name, Bali for these sports. What if it's hockey then? Doesn't make sense.
Oh goodness.
I'm telling you, I'm a squirrel. That's how ADHD I am.
It's all right. Hockey's played with a puck. It's okay. It's all right. Mm-hmm. All right.
You say pucky, that could sound a little weird.
Pucky? That sounds like it just doesn't sound right. And I don't know why it doesn't sound right, but it just doesn't.
That's borderline something there.
It's borderline something, We keep it PG on Count the Bucket. All right.
There we go.
Look at the East. It's updated because the Nets just lost. So they're tied with Philly, but Philly probably owns that tiebreaker. How are we feeling about the East?
I feel like it's starting to play how it should be. I will say the Heat and Celtics, I'm a little sad that they're down. I do think Heat's still trying to figure out who they are. Oladipo's been out, I think, for 4 games. So will be out 4 games now. I'm happy with Charlotte Hornets being at 4. Still surprising after losing Ball, I think, for the season, correct?
Yes, his wrist. And so they're gonna reevaluate him to see if he can play in the playoffs, but I'm not quite sure.
So I'm happy that they're still hanging on to it. I wish they'd made a little bit of noise during the trade, but at the same time, not doing anything. You keep that core still together, let them develop. It's a very young team. So I'm happy about this. Hawks looking good finally. The 7, 8, 9, and 10 play-in games, right? That's going to be interesting because we could end up having a playoffs without the Celtics. It could very well happen.
It could. And if they got to figure out what Kemba. I just think that's really an issue. But go ahead.
You have rode Kemba so bad this year. And even I'll keep going because I called you out on that. Sorry.
It's okay.
The 4, 5, 6, and 7, even right now, are all separated by 1 game. So at any time, this could still change. All these rankings could. So, but we do think the Nets will finish on top on here. 76ers, I actually think, will maybe fall down to the 3 by the end of the year. But there's only 19 games left, so there's not much that can go on. That's my opinion on it. How do you feel?
I don't think the Celtics will miss the play-in game because they're 4 or 5 games above the Bulls. So the 7-10 matchup would be Celtics Bulls, right? And then the 8-9 will be Knicks and Indiana. So I think the Celtics are safe. They kind of scared me there for a minute, but they're safe.
But if New York could easily take that spot, they're just one game behind Boston. So then,
they could take that spot easily. But the Celtics will make the play-in game. So I don't think they'll drop to 11. It's just too far. Unless they just go on a crazy losing streak, which I don't see happening. Because,
you're saying make the play-in. You're not saying win the play-in game. Yeah, I think they make the play-in game.
They make the play-in game. Now, this is interesting. Could Toronto catch Chicago for that play-in game? I wouldn't want to play Toronto in a play-in game.
No. And honestly, I wouldn't want to play the Wizards. They're a scary team for a one-game series. I mean, that could be an interesting matchup there. And honestly, I would like to see the Wizards play the 76ers. I think that would be an interesting first-round matchup.
It would be if that happens. Let's throw some hypotheticals out here, Michael, because that's what we do on Count the Bucket. All right.
What we do.
Okay, staying
pumped.
Let's put the Wizards in the 10 and bump Chicago out. So now we'll have the top stays the same. We're going to leave the Philly at the top, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, Boston, New York, Indiana, Washington, and the Bulls would swap. Let's say the Wizards beat the Celtics in the play-in, right? Because they will be matched up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they turn around and let's say they beat the Knicks because the Knicks beat the Pacers. Mm-hmm. Then the Wizards would get Philly. How many games do you think that could go?
I think that could go 7 games. I would say it would probably go, I really want to say 6 games, but I could easily see that going 7 games because you would have a Westbrook trying to prove the world that he's still Westbrook. You've got Bill saying, you all should have traded for me. This is who I am. I mean, he has dominated this year. I mean, this has really been a year where you can really say Bradley Beal is Bradley Beal of his own now. It's always been with John Wall or someone else with that team. It's never been Bradley's Beal team. Bradley Beal stepped up and said, hey, I need some more respect than what I'm getting.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There are 2 teams that make the play-in. So if the Wizards beat the Celtics, they would be in. And whoever win the Knicks, Pacers would be in. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So do they do the highest remaining seed plays the lowest remaining seed plays the highest remaining seed? Would they do it like that? So if the Wizards won,
personally, I think it would be 7-10. The winner of that would be like the 7th place. That's what I would assume.
But it'd be the high seed, like in football, whoever's the highest seed remaining plays the lowest seed. Well, whoever's the lowest seed remaining plays the highest seed. So that's why I think this might be here, Michael. If the Wizards beat the Celtics, they would be the lowest remaining seed because they're the 10. So they would probably play Philly, right? And then whoever wins that 8-9 matchup would play Brooklyn.
I could see both ways being set up. I just have to see how they had it because, I'm thinking of even the college games. You have them both ranked as the 12th seed, but obviously one's worse, one's better, and then they automatically go to that spot like it's already filled out. Like if you're doing a 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3.
Yeah, that's what 1 4
beats. Right, but I'm saying if 4 wins, they're not going to drop down and be like 2 would be the home team if they won, and 4 would be the away. They would just have it.
But
so I don't know how.
That's the same thing it would happen, though, because the Philadelphia 76ers would have home court anyway. So they would play whoever say, okay, this is probably how they might do it. If the Wizards if they were to get that 10 spot and beat the Celtics, they would play Philly. But if the Boston Celtics beat the Wizards, they would probably play Brooklyn. And then whoever wins that 8-9 matchup would play Philly.
See, to me, I would just go ahead and have Philly line, the number 1 seed, and then just have I'm off the screen. There's Philly, then have whoever they play have 2 little slots, and it either be Celtics or the Wizards. That's how I would design one. Just whoever wins this game goes there. If it's an upset, then it's the 10th seed. But I could easily see what you're saying, and that's how they do it. It's almost 2 different tournaments. You 2 play, and then whoever you win, then we're going to make it go to this spot.
Yeah, because
either
if you're
way,
the highest seed, then you would play the lowest seed remaining. That's how they do it in football. But we'll see how it goes, Michael. We'll see. But out of these teams, could you see Washington trying to take that 10 spot? They're 3 games behind the Bulls.
I think they're playing well right now.
Mhm.
They've had, especially Bill, great game yesterday. I think it was when he hit the 4-point play to win.
Yep. Against
So, I
Golden
mean,
State. Mhm.
they are looking good. Granted, it was against Golden State, but I think they had a top 3, all averaging over like 25 points that game. So I could see it. But the Bulls are making some moves, or they made some moves. They got Vucevic coming over. I think that they have solidified themselves as a solid 8, 9, 10 team, if that makes any sense. I would love to see Washington in it, but I don't think that they can. Now, could the Pacers lose and fall out where Washington could come in? Maybe that could go on, but I think that would be
Washington
harder.
would have to jump Toronto.
Right.
The game behind Toronto, which isn't hard.
Right.
Toronto blew the brakes off of somebody that Gary Trent Jr. went. I think he had 40 points, 41,
43, 39 in one quarter or one half, I think.
Yeah.
It was something crazy.
Gary Trent Jr. went bonkers today against somebody. Toronto blew the brakes off somebody today. So Toronto, when they win,
Cleveland, I think it was.
Oh yeah, okay, it was Cleveland. When Toronto wins, they win. When they lose, they lose. They're a very dramatic team. Very dramatic. But I like the East right now where it is. It's more competitive than I thought it would be. It's way more competitive than I thought. I think those top 2 teams will shuffle back and forth 1-2, 1-2. I think Milwaukee will stay 3. That's just my thought on it. I still like Brooklyn to win the East. That's not going to change for me. They lost to the Lakers last night, which is, they lost to the Lakers last night. I'm not reading too much into that. Kyrie got tossed. I think if Kyrie didn't get tossed, the Lakers went on like a 49-17 run after Kyrie got tossed. So if Kyrie doesn't get tossed, I think the Nets win that game. James Harden is their point guard, so we've already established that. Kevin Durant looks good. Kyrie looks good. And the others have played very well. Jeff Green, Cabarrot, Claxton, Blake Griffin, Aldridge. They've all looked pretty good in the Nets uniform. So I expect the Nets to be at the top of the East and to win the East. That will not change. I think this playoff is going to be interesting.
If the Nets don't finish the regular season at number 1, it's because they just wanted to rest. They don't really care.
They don't really care. I don't think they care. When you have 3 players of that magnitude, what in the world? Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. My TV is reflecting my bed, and it looked weird. I'm sorry. I was like, wait a minute, who's sitting in my bed? I thought somebody was sitting in my bed. I was like, what? And I had to look over. Yeah, Michael, it's been fun. Mom, here. I know we just got this house built, but we got to move. Get rid of the bed. I really think that the Nets are just cruising through the regular season. The hamstring, you have to be cautious with a hamstring, of course, especially coming off an Achilles injury with Kevin Durant. Yeah. But the Nets are cruising, and they're cruising with the third or fourth best record in the NBA. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Like, I seen something. I want to say it was on First Take, which I can't stand to watch, but it said that the 3 Brooklyn Solid players, we know who we're talking about, has only played like 6 games together. 6. That is crazy.
Cruising. They are cruising because the pieces they have around those players know their roles. Yeah. I talked about this a lot with the Clippers last year. Nobody knew their role. Everybody wanted to be the guy. Kawhi and Paul George were the guys last year. You know what I mean? And you had Montrez off the bench doing his thing. And then Lou Williams and Montrez. That's the pecking order that was supposed to happen. Right. But people wanted to be bigger than what they were. And the Nets are showing that chemistry matters. Each of those guys understands their roles outside of the big 3. Even with Aldridge and Blake Griffin coming in, everybody understands their roles. On the Clippers last year, nobody understood their role. And that was their demise. Yeah. That was the end of that.
I'm trying to think here. Would the Brooklyns, would the Nets want to slip down any so they know who they were playing? Because as great as they are, I'm just really trying to do hypothetical with you here. I mean, it doesn't matter who they play, but like, would they be interested? Would they rather not play the Celtics in the first round if something were to go on there? Or would they try to get that third spot instead? Or, rest your players and like, who cares? Because, the Lakers did that last year, or the Clippers did. I think they were playing Spurs the last game or something like that, regular season. And they basically played the scrubs because that game made them fall behind where it was a better matchup in the playoffs. Could they think of anything like this? Or be even worried about it?
I don't think they're worried about it. When you got Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, I don't think you're worried about too much. You want me to be honest?
Personally, on that bottom side of the list, the only team that I would really try to avoid was the Miami Heat because they're going to be playing defense, and that's when playoffs really matters.
Yeah.
Outside of that,
nobody in the East matches up well with the Nets. I'm just going to be honest. Nobody.
Who do you think matches up best with them?
You got 3 guys that can get you 30.
I mean, my best is definitely going to be way lower, but I do think Miami Heat.
Probably either Philly or Miami. I would say Philly because you have Joel Embiid, and they have nobody to stop Joel Embiid inside.
That's why I don't go with them, because I don't think they match up well. I just think their disadvantage is Philly's big advantage. So that's why I wouldn't say them. Like, I'm just saying, as far as defenses, I'm thinking, Butler can guard all 3 of them. Now, can he stop them? No, but he can at least guard them.
But they're all going to be on the floor at the same time. That's the problem.
Well, see, this is where I think people are really going to start liking Bam more. Bam can play defense very well against 1 through 5, in my opinion.
But he can't guard Kevin Durant.
Well,
that's his matchup, right?
That's who I would think. So that's why I think this would be his best time to shine. But I'll say this: LeBron James can't guard Kevin Durant either. So, I mean, as long as he contains him some. Like, I mean, what is your strategy with this team? Do you just say, you know what?
You can't outscore them. They're the leading scoring team in the NBA. So you can't outscore.
Have you ever played a game where a player, instead of guarding you, like backs off 20 feet and you're just like, I'm going to let you shoot? It's hard to shoot those shots, is it not?
These are professionals. I was just a college player. So.
But still, it's at least I'm not saying it's going to work, but it's at least some kind of mental game. Like, what if they just said, you know what, screw it, go ahead, shoot it. We're just going to stay back here.
Also, the best shooting team in the NBA, by the way, the Nets are.
You are very literal. You just need to kind of think with me here, okay?
I'm sorry, Michael. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry, Amber.
You've got to think outside of the box against this team, right?
I'm thinking outside of the box. There we go.
You have to. Like, you can't just...
Okay,
you're not going to go man-to-man to this team. Like, at least the Heat know how to play a little bit of a zone with that team. But still, that's going to be crazy. Like, what is your defensive strategy if it comes playoff time to stop this team? Full court press? Like, let's try something new? Something that they haven't seen in 20 years? Like, okay, guys, 2-2-1 press. Let's go.
Bob Huggins, West Virginia, full court press.
There we go. I mean, like, do you play a 1-3-1 and let's try to trap the corners? Like you have to almost go elementary with this team because they haven't seen it in so long, maybe, just to be like, oh, okay, that lasted one game. Okay, we made our corrections now. That's not going to last. Like, how do you stop this team?
It's going to be difficult. That's why I say they're going to have some good series. They're good. Their best series in the playoffs, if they want it to be. I think they're going to kind of cruise through the first round of the playoffs. I'm just going to be honest. They're going to cruise. A second round, they're going to take it a little bit more seriously. We're going to talk about the West in a minute, Matt. We know a lot of Lakers fans. We'll get there, Matt. Don't you worry.
Thank you, Matt, for joining on YouTube, by the way. Everyone that's watching and listening to this, you need to go follow Unwrapped Sports Network on YouTube so you follow all of our content. Every show will be funneled through there, too. Sorry, keep going.
Good plug-in. I love it. They're going to cruise the first round. The second round might be a little testy because you're going to get that 1-4, whoever the 4 seed is, or if there's some upsets.
By testy, you mean it may go 5 rounds?
It may go 5. Maybe.
So somebody may win.
I don't see their series going past 6, even in the conference finals. I just do not see it because you cannot. I know the playoffs slows down, but you have 2 champions, right? In Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Mm-hmm. They are built. Their big three are built for playoff basketball, and that's the difference. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat them 4 games. It's like I think it's going to be tough to beat the Lakers in 4 games.
If they're
That's
healthy.
going to be tough. Yeah, if they're healthy. Something about the Anthony Davis injury, I just do not trust. Because if they rush him back and he ruptures that Achilles, he's going to be pissed off at the whole Lakers medical staff. Like Kevin Durant was ticked off at the whole Golden State medical staff. So, Michael, I don't know. I don't see anybody beating them. I don't see anybody taking them past 6. What you think?
I believe in my Heat.
Okay, you can stick with the Heat.
I believe with my Heat until the end.
Okay, stick with the Miami Heat to the end. I believed in the Heat last year. They did me well. They did me great. But Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden are a different animal.
Oh, do I think that they'll beat them? Oh, absolutely not. No. Let me back up with my belief here, okay? I feel like the Miami Heat, I believe they could take them to 6 games.
If they get Milwaukee in the first round, that could be interesting. Go ahead.
Because you're going to get Jimmy Butler, who is going to do everything he can, at least one game, like he did against the Lakers. Carry the whole team on his back, have 50 points, 15 assists, and 11 rebounds. He's going to do it all with 3 steals and 2 blocks.
And a couple of charges.
He's going to go over to the basketball goal and lean on it. We're going to have that great picture of him just giving everything he's got. And then we're going to come back, and then everyone's going to come out there and say, Jimmy B, we got your back this game. We're going to go. And Bam's going to have 30 points himself. He's going to lock up KD to have 35 points because that's how you lock him up. And then Kyrie's going to say, hold up, I'm having another birthday that I forgot about. I'm out this game. And James Harden's going to go back to James Harden and go between his legs like 50 times, and then step to the right and shoot, and we're going to be on it. Oladipo's going to be all over it and ready to block that. And the referee might call a walk one time. Oh, lost you on that one. So I'm going to say, I'm in a good mood tonight, Keisha. I'm going to say,
go Heat.
If the Heat can match up to them, they go 6 games. Put money on it. Put it in a Rolodex.
Okay, put it in a Rolodex. Shout out to Alex. We miss you, Alex. Okay, so if the 3-6 matchup happens, could Miami upset Milwaukee in the first round?
Yes. Oh, definitely. I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't believe in Milwaukee. I just don't. Even with Drew Holiday.
Milwaukee is my Gonzaga of the NBA. Until you do it, I can't believe in you. I love this team. I love Giannis. I think he is going to be, and already is, better than – okay, look, I'll back up. I think Giannis – I would pick Giannis right now first before I'd pick LeBron James. I just would.
17, LeBron?
Don't go into that literal stuff. Take all the facts out. Let me just say that, okay? I would take Giannis now and build a team around it.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question?
Uh-huh.
If you put LeBron on Milwaukee, are they better without Giannis? Swap LeBron and Giannis. So swap LeBron and Giannis. Is Milwaukee better? I'm just asking. I want to know what you think. That's tough.
For the regular season or playoffs?
Both.
Regular season, no, because LeBron will take like 2 weeks off where he goes into just like hibernation mode.
But playoffs, he really did hurt his ankle. We do believe that.
Yeah.
Give him that. You see that? That looked nasty.
And how many times in your whole life of Unwrapped Sports Network, have you said that you do not trust the NBA medical team?
A lot.
And now you're going to tell me he really did hurt his ankle. It did look bad.
I watched it. I was like,
rolling on the inside. That's what got me. Like, ankles roll to the outside, and it hurts really bad. Seeing one roll to the inside, just go ahead and shoot me. Like, I'm done. I don't.
Yeah. I think a pain went through my leg when I saw that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I felt that all the way up to my kneecap. Like, that's how bad it hurt. Like, So,
yeah.
That's just me. Would you?
Okay.
You think the Bucks are better with LeBron, don't you?
I'm gonna tell you why. They're not the same
Space Jams.
They're not the same type of player. Yeah, because LeBron is more of I'm gonna get my teammates involved type of player than Giannis is. Giannis is he's going.
You think LeBron gets players more involved?
Yes, I do.
I completely disagree with you.
Why is his assist number so high?
Okay, this is where I'm always different on everyone. This is my Skip Bayless thing, okay? Where everyone's like, goodness. What? Is he really?
Skip! Don't make me do the Shannon Sharp. Skip! No.
This is why I can't stand LeBron James. Like, I would not want to play on LeBron James's team. Why? I would love for someone to have like 2 stopwatches. One hit it when LeBron James has it and lets it run the whole game. When he passes, start the other one. LeBron James has the ball like 90% of the time. The rest of the team, I don't care. Point guards shouldn't have the ball that long. Like
Chris Paul does too. You watch the Suns play?
Girl, you.
I know, Michael. I know. I'm driving you crazy.
Okay.
I missed you. It's been 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry.
Let me see. When LeBron James has the ball, no one moves because you don't know what's going on. A guard sets a pick, and LeBron basically is backing it down all the way to the block. And, like, if you watch, the shooters are just doing this. Okay, he might pass it to me. Okay, I'm waiting right here in the corner. Okay, there's 10 seconds left in the shot clock. It could be coming to me. Like, I don't want to move because I could clog the lane, and we got Anthony Davis on the other side waiting for a lob, so we can't do any backdoor cuts. So let me. Okay, now I'm getting bored. Like, oh, he passed it to me. It went out of bounds. I wasn't ready. I was ready for 20 seconds, and now he passed it out of bounds because I fell asleep for 2. That's how I feel. That's why I can't stand LeBron's offense. I mean, you have to agree with me some. Don't call me Skip. But there's not really that much motion going on that offense. You totally don't believe a word I just said there.
I could go into the X's and O's and type of offense that Frank Vogel runs, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I'm being too analytical today on tonight's show.
It's fine because I would like to have that conversation with you because this is why I hated him when he went back to Cleveland. About said Chicago. Ooh. Like I got bored watching them when he played for Cleveland. Everyone stood around and it was just like, okay, LeBron, go do your thing, and I'm just going to stand here and wait. And if you get in trouble, I'm going to sit over here and bail you out. If not, then, okay, good job. It's hero ball. I feel like everyone, and this is what you got me going. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. This is your platform. Hey, this is Count the Bucket.
Put a hat on. This is LeBron hating moment. Okay, mm-hmm. I feel like LeBron always manages his team perfectly. I say perfectly. Of what he wants. He wants to be dominant with this ball and drive around and then try to do everything and then kick it out to somebody if he cannot score or draw a foul or draw a flop foul. And everyone always says, LeBron has no help. LeBron has no help. He don't want help. He wants it to look like he is the man. So he can do all this and go. That's my true heart. That's my true feelings. That's how I look at LeBron. That's why I hate him. I feel like it is the most boring offense. Please, rebuttal.
I'll make you rant. I'm going to let you have your moment.
No. I want to know if I'm wrong because.
I mean, that's what I said. I can get into the X's and O's of NBA offenses. They're a little different. I'm going to give you a set. Let me see. Frank Vogel has a certain set. You got Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder plays off ball.
Where does he play? Off ball.
Yeah, Dennis Schroeder plays off ball. And
everyone plays off ball with LeBron.
Oh, goodness. Here we go. And LeBron has the ball. LeBron's IQ is tops in NBA. Yes
I will agree. I will agree.
So if you have one of the top IQs in the NBA, does that not make you a playmaker? Yes or no?
You can tell you want to be a lawyer. Yes or no. In fact, no other side should matter.
No, but yes. No, okay.
Yes.
Because the Joker, LeBron, Rondo, Chris Paul, those types of players with that type of cerebral, even Jimmy Butler, have that type of IQ and understand the game. My coach used to do that. Where's your IQ? Where is it, Amber?
Why does this mean IQ? I thought you was fixing your headphones, like turning up the volume there.
Because the way the brain moves. That's why he did it. I don't know. It's my coach. He's crazy.
I do this. The coach used to fuss at me like this. I'm like, why am I doing that? I hated that.
It depends on how you look at LeBron's game. If you sit back and look at, I think he led the league in assists last year, right? Did he?
I don't know. It's fake assists.
Okay. His understanding of the game of basketball is so high that he makes players around him better. Do you remember when he was with Cleveland and he had Delonte West playing like an all-star? He turned Mo Williams into an all-star too. Remember that?
They were all-stars.
I know.
Legit, with or without LeBron.
Oh no, Mo Williams.
Okay, I'm reaching way too far there.
Ooh, that's a reach.
I used to love. Who was their big man? I used to love him.
Ilgauskas.
Okay, I loved him. Like, honestly, if he wasn't your typical...
And Verjao, too.
If Ilgauskas wasn't your typical 80s, 90s tall white guy who does nothing, you take him out of it and put him in this era, he actually would have been really good with that pick and fade. I love the pick and fade. I thought it was great, and I thought he was before his time. If you can tweak it just a little bit, make him a little more athletic, he would have been great right now.
He's too slow though right now to guard.
Right.
Yeah.
But so at least with the pick and fade that he had going on, like, it was unstoppable. But keep going. I'm listening. All ears.
LeBron is one of the top playmakers in the NBA. He will always be that. He early on in his career, even in high school, if you watch, I miss ESPN Classic so much. ESPN, bring that back. We need that. But if you watch LeBron in high school, he was a playmaker in high school. If you watch LeBron in his early years, he was younger. Okay. He was more athletic.
I loved LeBron James, Cleveland 1.0. I loved him. He was almost my favorite player.
So he went to Miami. You just started disliking him?
I liked him in Miami. I hated the move.
LeBron's prime movie. Ooh, he was prime in Miami.
But I felt like that's when he got like, okay, I need to focus everything on me, which is not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That's what you should be doing in a way, is selling yourself. But I feel like when he came back to Cleveland 2.0, he made his team fill his voids, or basically make what he wanted, if that makes sense. Like, let me create everything where I have the chance. There we go, much better. Where I have the chance for everything. I feel like it's almost a tainted stat line for him. Now you can call me Skip.
It's okay, Skip. Of course, we it's okay to disagree. I think LeBron is a playmaker. I think he's one of the best playmakers in basketball. I want you to sit down and watch it from an X and O standpoint and tell me what you think. I want you to watch a game when LeBron comes back in the playoffs, because the game slows down. Mm-hmm. You will see it. You will see him directing traffic like Chris Paul does, like Rondo does. Mm-hmm. Even the Joker does it to a certain extent. You will see his playmaking ability. And you have to sit down and really watch the game. Just watch it and see what he does with Schroeder. See what he does with Kuzma. See what he does with KCP. See what he does with Anthony Davis. He gets everybody where they need to be. He's a true floor general. He's just a big guy. He's just...
Now, I'm not disagreeing with you on all that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is, when you got the Golden State offense, where all five guys...
Yeah, that's a different type of offense. The Lakers don't have that personnel to run Golden State's offense. Nobody in the league has that type of personnel. When you have the two of the best shooters probably of all time in Clay.
I'll go a little bit further. Steph. Even the Spurs, even with them, everyone.
It's the same offense as the Golden State. It's just,
but there's a flow. That's my thing. Is I just feel like there's a flow. Like, everyone has a purpose on the team. In those offense, everyone's going to touch the ball. Ooh, I see the eyebrows. We mean purpose to touch the ball, to set a pick, to move around. When it's LeBron James, wherever he's at offense, It's go stand in this corner. I mean, I feel like I do look at it X and O's, and I'm not trying to be mean on that. It's basically whichever side LeBron James gets the ball on at the top of the key, whichever side, there's one in the corner there. The guard is going to set a pick. There's one in the mid corner on the other side, and the big man's weak. On the weak side, going to come across to clear out the middle. And as he gets the pick, they get the switch. He backs them all the way down. Whoever helps, he throws it to, and they shoot. Like, I would hate that offense because there's
Why
no
not?
flow.
You're getting shots, though. Everybody's getting shots now. Just think about it. He'll run it to different sides of the floor. Like, he might run it with AD one side. You got Kyle Kuzma. If Kyle Kuzma's hot, he's weak. If KCP's hot, he's weak, right? Weak side.
Right.
So I'm getting touches. Listen here. I would love to play with LeBron because I know I'm going to touch the basketball. A lot of people didn't like playing with Kobe because people thought Kobe was a ball hog, but Kobe was really ball dominant. Like, Kobe was more of a scorer than LeBron was, even though LeBron scores. But Kobe wasn't that type of playmaker LeBron is. So, but if you ask me if I'd rather play with Chris Paul or LeBron, I'll pick Chris Paul because he's the natural point guard. And I have a soft spot for point guards. But you have some people that might pick LeBron. So let me ask you this question. Which player would you love to play with in the NBA?
Jason Kidd's my all-time favorite player. I am a point guard at heart.
Okay.
I'm a hefty point guard. That's what I always played. So I'm okay with a ball-dominant person. I just feel like mentally in my head, I could not stand in the corner for 24 seconds and wait.
Wait for the ball.
Like,
okay.
That's my big problem. Like, to me, it's boring. Like, how can you just stand there waiting forever? Like, I want to see movement. I want to be doing stuff to get you open. Like, I absolutely, if I don't have the ball, I love setting picks for people because that gets yourself open. That's like the number one rule that if you buy into, it makes sense. Okay, I'm going to set you a pick. If they switch, I'm rolling. I'm automatically got a guy on my hip. I'm open. If they don't switch, then I know I can cut in because he's here and I can do a back door. Like, you get yourself open. I feel like there's none of that with LeBron, and that's why it's boring. Now, I'm not saying what he's doing is completely wrong. I guess what I need to cover is with realization and have, what do they call it when they like sit you down in a room and like, hey, we got to have a come to Jesus.
Yeah.
But I just need to realize that intervention. There we go. This is just a different style, I guess. I hate
it's
to say
different.
style,
it's a style. It is. It's the style because you can't coach LeBron in a motion offense because you could in a way, but LeBron's teams are built with shooters around him. You've noticed that, right?
Right.
You're not going to get that also offense. It's just not going to.
How many times has these shooters struggled to shoot when they're on LeBron's team?
You got to find a rhythm. You have to find a rhythm in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, to me, there's no rhythm on him, and me and Andrew, when we used to do a podcast for a little bit, I always say the ball goes to him to die. Like, he is a superstar killer. He's like, what? You calling LeBron James a superstar killer? I'm like, you can't get in the flow. Like, every time you go to a game, like, you got to dribble the ball a few times. Okay, I'm doing this. They called a foul, so I'm going to go between my legs a few times. Okay, I'm going to squeeze this ball. I got it going. All right, let's go. I'm ready to play now. With LeBron, if you're off ball, you're just standing there waiting in one spot. Like, you can't get the blood flow going at all. You only do it on defense. So the rest you just sit and wait. That's all me. That's how I feel. But I understand you actually opened a little bit of a bliss to me here to understand that it is a style design for that. I feel like it's LeBron James coming in and saying, I don't care what the coach says. You're going here, there, and there, and this is what we're going to do. I'm just going to back it down.
In some way, it's like that in some way because his basketball IQ is so high. But in other ways, it's personnel too. So the personnel he has around him. If he had Steph and Clay, I promise you the offense would look different. You see what I'm saying? It just would flow differently because even in Miami,
at the same time,
and the offense flow differently with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade.
Has he designed his team though?
That's the way he wants to run his offense though.
Okay, that's why I think it's fluctuated stats because he's making him have this kind of teams.
And he has rings. I mean,
his last ring was a conspiracy.
Oh my God!
Last ring was a conspiracy.
I don't think I've ever defended LeBron so much, but I just
probably gonna. If he got paid for the names, he would be a millionaire right now. Oh, it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's almost.
I feel
legal.
better that I got to talk to you about that because honestly, everyone I usually talk about has no X and O conversation what's going on whatsoever. It's usually, oh man, you're crazy. I'm like, oh, I really feel like this is going on.
I can see your point in some instances, but that's the way the personnel is built around him. Now, Kyle Kuzma is learning how to create his own shot. Dennis Schroeder, of course, can create his own shot. Anthony Davis can create his own shot. But Morris, that's what Morris is doing. He's out there to be an agitator on defense, play good defense, and knock down shots. Kyle Kuzma's even shot the ball better. Caruso, his shot is so-so. KCP is a shooter. So that's the personnel he has around him, and that's how he is playing. He's catering to his personnel. Mind you, this is the personnel he wanted. So because they know what kind of person LeBron James is. He's a pick and roll, hit the shooter, offside, weak side, find cutters, or we're just going to get the ball to Anthony Davis on the block and let him go to work. I mean.
Yeah, I wasn't going to let you say cater to the team. I was going to stop you on that one. Thank you for changing it up because it's not catering when he basically says, hey, front office, this is the guy I want. Go get him. Because really, you could take, and again, we're going to argue over this, or at least talk about it. I won't say we're arguing. We're actually having a good conversation about it.
Yeah.
Every team that he's been on is duplicated. It's just another player. Like Kuzma or Korver, it was Ray Allen, but much lower of a person. Kyrie was Dwayne Wade. Kevin Love was Chris Bosh. I mean, all these are basically, so now Kevin Love, Chris Bosh are now Anthony Davis. Schroeder is now Dwayne Wade, but can't really say the same. So it's always having the same flow. So that's another reason why I just don't like LeBron. And it's personal preference. I'm not saying that he's a bad player or anything like that. It's just it's boring to me. Like honestly, watching the playoffs past few years with LeBron. Let's see here, what year it was. The year that they almost got swept, I think it was 2015, maybe. I was really bored watching that offense. But I want to see movement. I like to watch. That's why I like Golden State. I won't say I'm a fan because I don't want to be a bandwagon, but you see everybody getting involved. Everyone feels like they have a purpose.
Yeah, but that's personnel too because Golden State does not have a LeBron James.
You don't think Steph Curry is a LeBron James?
Apples and oranges, two different types of games.
I will agree.
It is tough because Golden State is motion. They come from the San Antonio Spurs tree, of course, Steve Kerr does. So that motion offense works for them. The Spurs have a different type of motion offense. They got those young guns in there now. LaMarcus is not there anymore. DeMar DeRozan is playing very well right now. You got those young guns and they're moving. Phoenix even has that offense, that pick and roll, and letting Booker do his thing with Chris Paul. So you look at these different offenses around the NBA, and they're all different. The reason why the Boston Celtics are having so many issues, we're going to talk about the West in a minute, Matt, just hold on. The reason why the Boston Celtics are having so much difficulty, Dwayne Wade said this on NBA on TNT, they don't have an identity.
No.
They don't. And I think the only 4 players I don't think Boston should get rid of: Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. I think everybody else should be on the trade block. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because they got to get some players in there, man. And it's not looking good. I picked Boston to finish 2nd or 3rd in the East. I'm like, okay, Kemba's healthy. Jaylen Brown's going to take a step up. Jason Tatum had 53 the other night. Marcus Smart is Marcus Smart. He's going to do what he does. He's the heart and soul of that team, in my opinion, on both ends of the floor. I didn't expect this from Robert Williams. I thought Daniel Tice would have a good season, but he's now moved on. They got Tristan Thompson, but he can't stay healthy for some reason. So I was like, okay, Boston, okay, I see what you're doing. You drafted Peyton Pritchard. You got Aaron Nesmith. You bought in Teague. Teague's now gone. Peyton Pritchard's getting more minutes. Thank goodness. I'm like, okay, I like this. I like this Celtics team. And then you look at them play, you're like, okay, like what are they and who are they? So it's kind of hard to see what kind of style of offense Brad Stevens is running, what they're doing on defense. It's really difficult to watch. So for me, I love watching Tatum and Brown play, but what is their identity? When you look at other teams around the NBA, they have one. So I think the Lakers have one. With Anthony Davis and LeBron James, they do their thing, and then everybody else plays their role. right? Everybody else is going to play their role. So we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Let's look at the West. Let's look and see who they would match up with. Yes,
that's why I actually think, as we're going to the West, that's why I think Rondo is a huge pickup for the Clippers.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
It helps the understanding of the team. Like Rondo knows that he can give minutes, be the assist guy, be the leader, the general from the floor, but yet he knows the team is Paul George and I was like, whoa, hold up, somebody's joining our stream, but it's your screen. And Leonard as well. I'm sorry, drew a blank there. So I think that helps, and I do think that's kind of the problem. Like, we even say the heart and soul of that team for Boston is Marcus Smart, but Marcus Smart is not the best player on the team.
Mm-hmm.
But the minutes and everything he does makes him. So it's kind of hard to have your superstar probably not have everyone's respect, I'll say, because Marcus Smart, if he has a problem, they're probably going to back him instead of Tatum or even drew another blank. Brown. And that could be the problem going on with that. I love Marcus Smart. I think he is the Draymond Green of the East Coast.
Yeah, but Draymond's the heart and soul of the Warriors. He's not their best player either. So
I agree. But they have figured out how to make it work. Boston's not figured out how to make it work yet.
That's tough. It's tough to watch Boston play because you just see the potential of Tatum and Brown and Kemba, what they could be. And then you never know what's going on with Kemba's knee. They've had players miss. I know Candace Parker was talking about they haven't had all their horses healthy. Tatum missed early in the year. He's still recovering. Tatum said he's still recovering from COVID. Like he still has a hard time breathing sometimes. So I'm like, goodness. Wow. And it's just tough to evaluate Boston when they haven't been fully healthy. Like it's tough for me to evaluate the Miami Heat because of their up and down situation with health.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been a tough, crazy year. And I say those things.
Tough, crazy, man.
Tough, crazy. Let's look at the West. This is getting interesting because Dallas has one of the easiest schedules left in the NBA. And they're sitting at 7. Can KP stay healthy? Come on, KP, stay healthy. What do you feel about this 7, 8, 9, 10? So Golden State would be 10. They would play the Mavs first.
Okay.
They would.
I think it's
right now.
Right. I think that is a very deadly 7, 8, 9, 10. Don't you think so?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, any one of those teams. Now, Utah, I'm just going to back up and say kudos to you all because we still don't really buy in 100% on this team.
Why does nobody believe in Utah?
I mean, I guess they're the Philly of the West Coast and Gonzaga of the NBA. They're a good team. I mean, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be in the back of their head until they prove it, I mean, either one of these or all four of these teams, I could see making a good push against Utah, but Utah has been so dominant this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's just one of those factors where we haven't seen them play nationally on televised games that much.
Which is a crying shame. They keep putting the same teams on TV. I'm like, why do you keep putting the Mavs on TV? Why do you keep putting the Celtics on TV? Phoenix, that Utah Phoenix game was good. I actually watched the last part of that game.
I'm sorry. That was just funny. I actually watched the last part of that game. Sorry.
I was busy. I was busy before that, so I couldn't watch the full game. I'm like, I know. It's going into OT.
Even
Mitchell?
Denver.
Yeah, even
Denver's a great team, but it's a team that we just don't see online or on televised games or national televised games.
It's a crying shame they put the same dang teams on TV. Quit putting the Pelicans on TV. They're not even in the playing game. Flex it out. And put a Utah or a Suns game or a Nuggets game on. Hell, even a Trailblazers game. Or Memphis. They're in the playoffs.
I mean, Memphis would be fun to watch just because they're still a young team developing.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like about the West Coast as I look at it is, there's not really too many games that are very close. Like the other East Coast, there are like 4 teams within one game. Like this is spread out. This is kind of solidified. And, hey, this are how it's going to look at the end of the year. But, yeah, I mean, Dallas is a scary team. Dallas struggled so much last year finishing games. They've
Mhm.
done better with that this year. I still struggle. Man, if KP stays healthy, I mean, Luka MVP definitely candidate on that team.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to play him.
You know what might be an interesting matchup if the Lakers and Nuggets stay the same, which honestly I think the Lakers are gonna I don't think the Lakers are gonna get that 1 seed or 2 seed
The Lakers? Oh no,
or
no, I
three
don't think so either.
because LeBron and AD won't be back in time for them to win enough games. That
Do you
four
even
five
think they
matchup,
play? Do you think they play another game until playoffs?
I think they have to because they don't want to slip too. Let me see.
Too rusty? I mean, that of
Yeah.
course.
Well, if the eighth spot is because if they slip past the Trailblazers, then they got to play their playing game, and they don't want to do that.
Yeah, they won't go to the playing game. I don't think. I
No,
think
no, no. I
they.
think they'll stay here. I think they'll stay here because of LeBron and AD not getting their legs back.
Yeah.
That 4-5 matchup, Western Conference Finals last year, might be a first round matchup. Did you see that? The Nuggets and the Lakers, 4-5?
That was nice. That was a nice. It definitely, I think, put the Nuggets on the map as national team that should be televised more. Murray left it all on the court. I mean, he could
Literally.
almost barely walk off the court.
Literally.
That would be a great matchup. Because let's
In
be
the
honest.
first round?
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, it's almost counterproductive. It's almost like we were talking about with Brooklyn and Phillies. Like the strengths of one team is the weakness of the others. I'm going to say Nuggets big is much better than Lakers, but I'm also saying the 5, not the 4. Personally, I would love, and of course we know Anthony Davis don't want to do this, to have Davis play the 5 and LeBron be the 4 and just go with that team, but he doesn't want to do it. That would be.
But you got Drummond now, so it's really no point in him playing the 5. You know what I mean? It's kind of like
now, right?
Yeah.
Of course, he's not been there with Drummond, but yeah, this is a great matchup. I think that would be a 6-7 games. Who do you think wins that?
Ooh. You know what? Denver is 7-0, so it's requiring Aaron Gordon. But a part of me, I saw this from a buddy on Twitter. I don't think Denver's better than they were last year with Gary Harris and Jeremy Grant. I'm going to tell you why. Because they don't have a Jeremy Grant. They don't have a lockdown defender that can knock down shots and also get to the rim. They don't have that. And I think in the playoffs, he really showed his worth. That's why Detroit paid him that money. He showed his worth. He wanted to be the guy, and shout out to you, because he started off at OKC, and his game has grown so much since he left OKC. So I'm happy he got that bag. Kudos to you. But here's the thing about Denver. They have to play defense to win games down the stretch. And they did push the Lakers last season. They did. But Jamal Murray was playing his tail off in the bubble. That was a different animal. But Michael Porter Jr. is coming. I don't like the way he plays defense. We'll just throw that out there. But his offense he's been their second best player this season. If you want me to be completely honest, it's been the Joker and it's been Michael Porter Jr. this season for me. And that's just how I feel. Where Denver's going to catch a snag is on the defensive end. That's where they're going to struggle to get stops and against that Laker offense with LeBron and AD. Now, could they win it? Possibly. But do I see LeBron taking a first round exit? LeBron and AD taking a first round exit with Drummond? Heck no. Heck no. But I think he could go 6. I think he goes 6. If that's the matchup we get, I think he could go 6.
So I want to get this straight with you. If AD doesn't play in this, you still think Lakers win? I don't know if that's what you're referring to when you said Drummond and LeBron.
Well, I said AD, Drummond, and LeBron.
Okay, I missed the AD part.
Yeah, AD, Drummond, and LeBron. I'm sorry. If AD does not play, which is it's a small possibility, but I think they're going to try to bring him back from that Achilles / calf / whatever's going on with him. I don't know. I'm not an NBA doctor. I think the Nuggets' chances of winning at 7 are higher without Anthony Davis because I think the Joker will have fun. I think he will have fun, but I think LeBron will will his team to win that 7th game. But without Anthony Davis, I think he goes 7, and I think Denver has a puncher's chance. With Anthony Davis, I think the Lakers win that in 6 with Anthony Davis.
Now I'm going to ask you this. The Nuggets is a up and coming team. They're ranked fourth even this year with what they did and just making some noise last year.
Mhm.
If they go out, if they're not playing the Lakers, if they lose that first round, it's a failed season for them. Correct?
Yeah, I think if they lose their first, if it's not the Lakers, which it could possibly be either the Lakers, it could be the Trailblazers, it could be the Mavs. The Mavs are playing very well right now. Portland has a tough schedule to finish, but they're healthy.
Mhm.
Portland's going to win in Detroit tonight, but well, actually, Detroit's in Portland tonight. They're going to win tonight, but that could be a tricky matchup for the Nuggets if they play Portland. It'd be a lot of offense.
Mhm.
I'm a huge Portland fan. I've been on the Portland bandwagon for a while. If the Lakers, even if the Nuggets, the 4-5 would be the same, because if the Lakers move up, the Nuggets move back.
Mhm.
Then that would be the same. Or if the Clippers move to the 4-5, what if we got a Clippers-Lakers matchup in the first round?
Oh wow.
Look at that. They're one
That
game
wouldn't
apart.
happen. That would not happen. I promise you. There would be some conspiracy that would go on to keep the Clippers and Lakers away from the first round.
I agree. I'm just trying to figure out how. Let's look at the Lakers schedule. Let's look at that. Shall we?
Okay.
Let's look at
Share
that.
your screen.
I will not be selfish. I will not be selfish.
Ooh, there you go.
Oh man. Okay.
We
let's
may
look
not
at
have one person watch this show, but man, are we having fun.
We are having fun. You can tell we've been away from each other for a while. We miss
Oh,
each
yeah.
other. We miss each other. All right. Here's their schedule to finish off. Playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team. Nope. Maybe. Nope. Nope. Playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team. Hex no. Maybe. Maybe. That's tough. You got Utah back to back, Dallas back to back. You still got Phoenix on the schedule. You got to play the Clippers again. So LeBron and AD are expected back around here, right? Yes.
Expected.
7 to 10 days for Anthony Davis. That's what Woj said. Shout out to Woj with the Woj bomb today.
You got
Kinda.
all these shout outs today.
I know, man. I gotta give credit where credit is due in my Mark Jackson voice. Shout out to you, Mark Jackson. Till I watch the NBA a lot. Not lately, but I think they're due back. One of these Utah games they might play, but that's on the road, right? No, that's at home. Back to back at home.
Yeah.
Then they go back to back Dallas
honestly,
on the road.
I see them coming back Sacramento. I would just go ahead and push it back, especially AD. Let that be a home game with a contest with two games that might be a little bit easier. I'm not trying to take too much away from Toronto. That's a good team. But at least you can say, okay, we had Sacramento to work AD back in. Toronto, another team that's on the outskirts.
Okay.
Let's maybe go ahead and rest because that's a back-to-back with Toronto and Denver and say, okay, AD, you're not even going to play this game. Just go ahead and rest.
What about starting them at Orlando? Let them take the road trip to Orlando and Washington, and then Sacramento and Toronto. What you think about that?
I like that. I like that. I just don't like them not being home. That would be my only thing on there. I would prefer it be home because my front office skills and everything.
Okay.
That way, my medical team can be there in their facilities. But no, I do like going to Orlando on that. That's a pretty nice one too.
Yeah, you can go Orlando, Washington, Sacramento, Toronto. That'll be a good 4-game stretch.
And then rest him. Don't even let him play against Denver because you don't want Denver at him full strength and show your weakness or whatever's going on. Just we're going to rest him. It's back-to-back games.
But now, does this depend on how many games you win in this road trip? I mean, in this 4-game stretch?
That's a stretch that you can't lose.
Yeah, you can't lose that stretch. Yeah, because you gotta, even though Portland has a more difficult schedule. Let's look at Portland. Portland has the more difficult schedule. I still would not want to lose any of those road games if I'm the Lakers, right? Because you have to
definitely
jockey for position. Let's see who Portland has a brutal schedule coming up. You ready to look at this? It's not nice. See, look, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team, playoff team. No. Playoff team, playoff team. No. Playoff team, playoff team, playoff team. Ooh, that schedule was brutal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's one of the top. I think they have one of the hardest schedules in the NBA left. So let's look at Portland. Portland's 2 games behind the Lakers. Well, they'll probably move a game and a half behind the Lakers because they'll win tonight. Hopefully, assuming they'll win tonight against Detroit. They were up double digits with about 3 minutes left in the fourth. If the Lakers slip, I think I can't say that. I have to
Looking
believe
at
in
the
Portland.
schedule, I would think Portland would slip before Lakers would slip.
Yeah, I do too, because the schedule's more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have any cupcakes on their schedule. Not one. Houston and Cleveland. That's it. Everybody else is either a playoff team or fighting for a playoff spot.
And the Mavericks are just a game and a half behind Portland.
Okay, let's look at that one. Let's look at that one.
Well, before you go, let's stay there.
Okay.
Scroll down there if you don't care, and let's go ahead and try to predict how many we think they lose. So when we look at the Mavericks, we can try to see if they may move.
Ooh. How many games? We got 19 games left. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They got 20 games left.
Got to ask you a quick question. Did you ever cheerlead?
Ooh, no.
Okay. Just listening to your county, it almost sounded like a cheerleader. 1, 2, 3, 4.
No.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, Michael. Sorry. Ugh.
Okay.
I was an athlete. I'm not going to say cheerleaders aren't athletes because they are, but I was a basketball player. I was a tomboy, Michael. No. Cousin was a cheerleader.
Also, looking at this, Portland, who is a nice team, they only have 2 games out of these 20s that are on TNT.
Yeah, that sucks. And that and they're the 6th seed in the West, and they haven't been healthy all year. And that's why I don't like the schedule for the NBA. That's part of the reason why I don't watch it, because they keep playing the same teams over and over again on TV.
I mean, pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I'm tired of seeing that. But they got Miami tomorrow. And then they got Boston. Thank you for putting that on TNT. Thank you, TNT. Then you got at San Antonio, at Charlotte. This is a difficult schedule. I say they win. They could possibly go 12-8. I'll say 12-8.
12-8.
12-8.
Let's see here. So you got them losing to.
I don't know who they're going to lose to. I'm just going to say 12.
Okay, so you're just saying 12-8. You're just throwing it out there.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not sure who they're going to lose to. We're just going to go 12-8.
I'm going to say they win the next 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who, but I think it's a win-lose there. San Antonio, I'm going to say that they win. Charlotte, I think they win. Clippers, I think they lose. Denver, I think they lose. Memphis,
back-to-back.
Which is crazy because even the Lakers had a same team back-to-back. Like, how do you make that happen, NBA? But anyways, I'm going to say, I mean, Memphis is a scary team, and they're playing for a playoff spot. I want to say they go 50 on that one as well. So I got them losing 1, 2 right there. They lose to Brooklyn, 4. What do you say, 12-8?
Yeah, I said 12-8. That's what I'm looking at.
Well, they played Memphis 3 times. So I'm going to say Memphis beats them twice.
Okay.
That's at 5. I think Boston wins there. That's 6. Lakers, I think, is going to beat them. That's 7. I'm going to have them losing 9, maybe 10 games.
You know why I'm having going 12-8? Because I don't think they can afford to lose 10 games out of this schedule.
So you're saying that
James going to let that
they
happen.
have to do that?
Yeah, they have to go either 11-9 or 12-8. They can't be 10-10. They cannot split this because let's look at Dallas.
Well,
that's a good segue. Let's look at Dallas real quick. And then we'll go back to Portland. And then we'll go back and forth so we can see why they can't lose those games. Because look at Dallas.
Game and a half back.
Mm-hmm. Let's look at Dallas's stretch, right? Look at Dallas.
3 on ESPN, 3 on TNT. So 6.
7.
TV.
1 on ABC.
And ABC, 7. and
And
they're
two on
not even in
NBA
the playoffs
TV.
right now.
2 on NBA TV. That's 9.
That makes no sense. Mark
At all.
Cuban. It's because
Mark.
he's
He got
Shark
that money.
Tank.
Mm-hmm. You can
So
pay
I
with
think
Bitcoin now to get in the games. But look at this. Look at their schedule. Look how easy their schedule is. Cleveland, Toronto, Minnesota, Sacramento, Washington, Detroit, Golden State,
twice.
Sacramento. Yes, Detroit again. Like Sacramento again. Like it.
What a way to finish out the season too. Cleveland,
Yes.
Memphis, New Orleans, Toronto, Minnesota.
That's just, it's a cupcake walk for them. And that's why they cannot go 10-10, because Dallas would probably go, what's their record?
Whoa.
Sorry, Michael. 29 and 22.
It is after midnight here.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I'm trying to even scroll right now on your page, but it's yours. I can't do it.
Okay. They have 21 games left. Sorry.
They have 21?
They have 21 games left. So out of these 21, Dallas will probably only lose 5 of these. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to take an L to Brooklyn. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. They got the Lakers back-to-back. I don't know if Anthony Davis or LeBron will be there. They'll win those. Maybe. They lose to Philly.
Who do you think? You got Dallas winning those? The Lakers? I think they split.
Think they split? Okay, because they're back-to-back. That could be a possibility. I see Dallas maybe losing 5. I see Dallas going 16-5. And that's why the Portland Trailblazers cannot go 10-10. How far?
Even if they're a game and a half, so even if they lose 8, they still drop.
Who do they drop? Really?
Yeah, because they're a game and a half behind or ahead of the Mavericks.
If they win tonight, which they're probably going to win tonight. They did win tonight. They won tonight. So that's look at the ups. Let me see if ESPN updated it. Sorry, Michael. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I know it.
Look, if they win and it's updated, if they lose,
it's updated. So they're a game and a half. Let me think.
So if they lose 8 games and Dallas lose 5 games, Dallas moves up by 1.
Yep. So that's why if Dallas goes 16-5 and Portland goes 12-8, that's still a stretch, right? So that's why they can't lose 10 games, Michael. They cannot lose 10 games. They can't afford to do that.
What about Memphis? No, I don't think they can fall that. Well,
you want to see the
let's
schedule?
look at Memphis. Yeah, because I think they're going to lose 10 games. At least 8 to 10 games for sure. So they're going to move a spot past the Mavericks here.
Postpone. Look at all these games that were postponed.
Goodness. Will they make those up?
Postpone. I don't know. That's a good question.
Postpone means a later day.
And look how many games they got on. See, that's pathetic.
1.
Come on, guys. Y'all got to do better.
1.
Do better. Indiana, Chicago, Dallas, Chicago, Milwaukee, Denver, LA, Portland, Denver, Portland again, Orlando, New York, Minnesota, Detroit, Toronto, New Orleans, Dallas, Sacramento, Golden State. Their schedule is favorable.
We may not have a Portland in the playoffs, or at least in the play-in spot. That's probably where they'll end up.
And that's dangerous because I would not want to play Portland.
No.
Playing game.
Because, Indiana, I think, win. Chicago up in the air. Dallas, I think, lose. Chicago, I want to say they'll probably split on that, to be honest with between those two. Milwaukee loss, Denver loss, Clipper loss, Portland. That's really, those 3 games are probably going to be very big for this, the way it ends. Those 3 Portland games right there.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
But then I think Orlando win. New York, I want to say win. I'm going to kind of lean to that to help out this conversation. Minnesota, Detroit win. New Orleans wins. Sacramento, they go 3-0 at the end of the season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so
this could be very interesting.
Record prediction for Memphis? They have, sorry, Michael, sorry. They have 50. They got 22 games left. Well, yeah. No. I don't know what they're going to do with these, though, Michael. I don't know.
2 of them against Portland, too. I think they'll end up having to play those.
Yeah, they're going to have to play that because Portland's in the playoffs. And if Sacramento makes a push, they could push for a playoff play-in game as well. So those games are important. I mean, Minnesota's going to be a lottery team. We already know that. But I think they have to make these games up. Don't you think? How have they allowed time in the schedule for these teams to make up games?
Scroll down a little bit if you don't care.
Okay.
That sounded so bossy. I apologize.
Oh, no. You're fine, Michael. You're fine.
I mean, April 9th is right there. I mean, I don't really see much of a gap on these. And it ends May 16th. And what did I say the tournament started? Or the playoffs? The tournament's been so weak.
When did the playoffs start?
May 18th.
So
I'm sorry. May 11th through May 16th is this. Oh, no. No. So May 18th is the play-in tournament.
Yeah, they're not going to make up those games.
2 days.
Darn. That's tough. That's tough. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They have 22 games left. What does Memphis go? What's their record in these 22 games?
I do think they lose a lot. I could see them. Let's see here: Golden State, Sacramento, New Orleans, Detroit, Minnesota, Orlando. I'm going to say they'll be lucky to go 10 and 12, and that's going to be pushing it. What do you think?
Oh, man. They had a tough loss against the Knicks in overtime. But they won 4 in a row before that. They won 1, 2, 3, 4.
And they beat Miami, Philadelphia, Atlanta. I mean, they beaten some playoff teams.
Yeah, I'll say 12 and 10. I'll flip it. I'll go 12 and 10.
Okay.
I'll go 12 and 10. Now, I do think Memphis gets in at least the play-in game. I do think they make that. What do you think?
I think so, too.
Okay. So let's go back and look at these standings. So I said Portland would be 12 and 8. I said Dallas 16 and 5. I said Memphis 12 and 10. I think Memphis is safe. I do, because they're 2.5 games ahead of Golden State. They're 4 games ahead of New Orleans, which is the 11th spot. I don't think New Orleans gets in. You want to look at San Antonio's schedule?
Sure.
Okay. Let's see what San Antonio has going on with their schedule. They've had some tough losses. They've played Denver like a lot here lately. They got games postponed too, because those could have been wins for San Antonio. Honestly.
Oh, yeah. Like all 3 of them, really.
Yeah, they've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. I think they win against Dallas. I don't think they'll lose against Dallas. I think that'll be a win.
Orlando's a win.
Toronto possibly
Detroit.
a win. Detroit.
New Orleans again.
Washington maybe. Sacramento maybe. In New York maybe. They got.
Yeah, I don't think they're getting in.
Ooh, you think New Orleans can take their spot?
Oh, what are they? Are they like 9 or 10?
They're like 8th or 9th.
I think Golden State could take their spot, but they're in it too, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. I think it's Mavs, Memphis, Spurs, Golden State.
Okay. I think they still are going to make it in. I'd like to see New Orleans' schedule if you want to look at that too, but I think that they're going to fall at the last spot.
Okay, prediction?
Yeah, I think
1,
Golden
2,
State will take them at 9.
5,
prediction
6,
for this. We should have wrote this down.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. They got 22 games. Oh, because they didn't play games. I'll say 12 and 10.
I'm going to say 11 and 11.
Okay. Now you want to look at New Orleans' schedule, correct? Okay.
Yes. Yes,
I just don't believe in New Orleans. I don't know why. They've just been so up and down this season. You see their potential, and it's just so disheartening, should I say. They've had some games postponed as well. They have a very favorable schedule. But they had a favorable schedule in the bubble last year, and look what they did. Cleveland, Sacramento, New York, Washington, New York, Brooklyn, Orlando, San Antonio, Clippers, Denver, OKC, Minnesota, Golden State. That shouldn't even be on TV, in my opinion. Golden State again. Philly, Charlotte, Memphis, Dallas, Golden State, Lakers. Never mind. They got to play Golden State 3 times. That's tough. Those Golden State games are important, though.
Oh, yeah.
They're important because they're trying to catch Golden State.
I think they beat Cleveland. I think they have a chance against Washington. I think one of those New Yorks they can win.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, Oklahoma City, Minnesota. I think they have to. They got to win
2 of those.
3. Yeah, 2 of those 3 Golden State.
Or 3. They got to win all 3 because you got Golden State, Philly, and Charlotte, Memphis, Dallas, Golden State, and the Lakers. That's a rough way to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, because that's going to be priming Lakers. It really, I think that last game with the Lakers could be an easy win for them because if they've got a lock and the game doesn't matter, they're going to rest.
Yep.
So I'm not going to hold too much on that because the Lakers have done that and they will do that. If the game doesn't make them fall out of position, AD and LeBron probably are not even playing. Or if they do, it's in the first quarter. Golden State, that game's going to be tough because that's going to be battling for a play-in. Dallas is going to be positioning. Memphis is going to be positioning. Charlotte's going to be positioning. Philly, I could see them trying to rest, but that's a week away from that or 2, so I don't think they would really be resting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, I'd say the Lakers probably be that easiest game out of that for that fact that they'll probably be resting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough to finish. That's tough. So what we thinking, Michael?
Prediction on this?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, they got what's here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They only have 20 games left if I counted right.
Mm-hmm.
I want to probably be a little extreme here. I'm going to say 7 and 13.
Ooh.
They're young, so they don't know how to win big games.
Yeah.
Because look at the bubble.
Yeah, they just did not show up at all. I'm going to put faith in them, in Van Gundy, just a little bit. I know I like Van Gundy a lot. I like Van Gundy.
Not his brother.
You don't like Jeff?
Oh, he gets on my nerves.
I'm going to say that they go 10 and 10. They got 20 games left. 10 and 10 because they have to. Actually, technically, they have to go 14 and 6 to, I think, have a chance to get in. I just think, let's look at Golden State's schedule.
Sounds good.
Because I think that's important to see.
As much as I love Stan, and Stan definitely has a history of actually making the playoffs, would you rather have a Steve Kerr team coached or a Stan Van Gundy coached team?
That's tough because people have been riding Steve Kerr this year. He does have the rings, though. Steve does.
People, I'm going to bat for him a little bit here. People are talking bad about him like he won't change his ways. I think maybe that was you that said that before.
Mm-hmm.
You have somebody
He's stubborn. He is stubborn.
Is it See, I don't know him on a personal level, but I almost think that, I mean, you've got Clay coming back. Like, that's going to be the team. I feel like go ahead and develop your team to way you want them to play for when you get your guys all back and healthy. They're used to that style.
It's not the same personnel, though.
I know, but
that's what makes it difficult.
I agree. I don't think I think what he is thinking, because I read minds, is let's not change our personnel or our style to meet our personnel, because next year our personnel is going to be completely different again.
That's
so let's
probably what he is thinking, Michael, to be honest with you.
Let's make this a rebuilding year where, okay, this is how it's going to be next year when we have these guys.
It baffles me. Look how many games I got on TV, though.
Yeah.
At least they're a playing team, though. I can honestly say that. What they got, Michael? ESPN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games on ESPN, 1 on ABC, which is an ESPN affiliate, the 6. Mm-hmm. TNT and NBA TV twice. Yikes. They got Golden State on TV 10 times. And they're in danger of not making the play-in game. That is just pathetic. But anyway,
and they got 19 games.
Yeah. What you think? They got Oklahoma City 3 times, which is pretty good.
This is what's funny, or at least to me. Denver, the games, I can't remember how many that they had on ESPN. Well, 2 of them, of course, that they have on ESPN is against Golden State.
Ugh. That's why I don't watch it that much, because they're putting something else on.
Houston and Golden State is on ESPN. New Orleans and Golden State.
It doesn't make sense to me.
And Phoenix and Golden State is not.
One. Or Golden State in Utah. Or even Golden State in Memphis, because they're battling for their spot. Even Golden State in Memphis is not on TV. What the heck? This is crazy.
Speaking of Golden State, Clay just bows to Steph Curry after a 3. Curry's got 38 points. Drilled his 8th triple. Just so you know.
You took the money on Steph to make more than his money line for 3s, were probably 6 or 7. You won.
Oh, well.
Congratulations.
I mean,
why would they do that? I just don't understand it. I just don't get it.
I mean, Denver's going to be a tough game. Oklahoma, I think they win. Cleveland, I think they win. Honestly, Boston, I think, will be a tough game. Like, I could see either way. Philadelphia.
Tough.
Yeah, Washington, very tough, I think, because it's going to be Westbrook with a chip on his shoulder just because it's them. And that's what I love about that.
And Washington just beat them the other night. So, yeah, that's going to be.
So, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, probably 4 losses when we get to Minnesota. And I'm saying Denver once, Boston, giving them benefit of doubt of losing Denver again, and Philadelphia. I mean, Minnesota, Houston, they win. Really, it's going to be the New Orleans games there that keeps them in it, because OKC, I think they beat both times.
Yeah.
Utah, I could see them beating Utah because it's getting close to the play-in or close to the playoffs. We don't know how rested these guys are going to be, if they even care.
Yeah, Phoenix too.
Yeah, and Phoenix as well. So I could see that playing a factor for them in this, because, I mean, how awful would it be if you have 3 games left? I'm going with the Phoenix game here. If you only had 3 games, and if you lost all 3, it did nothing for you position-wise, and Booker got hurt one of those games,
That would be tough.
So, I don't know. I feel like the team that's going to struggle most will be the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm. I say the Pelicans too, because let's look at the schedule. They're so far behind. You know what I mean? They have to make up ground, and they have to have other teams lose. So we have to depend on other teams to lose. That could be brutal. That could be very brutal. And that's tough when you have to depend on other teams. I know the NBA players, they talk a lot about, well, we don't want to have to depend on another team to lose for us to get in the playoffs. And from the looks of it here, they would have to depend on Golden State and San Antonio and Memphis, maybe, to lose, to even sniff playing game, which really is Golden State. And they play Golden State, 3 times?
Yeah.
Something like that. and you're a game and a half back, I mean, that's tough. And then Sacramento's coming. Sacramento's playing well. They did lose to Utah tonight, but Sacramento's
It's Utah.
playing well.
I mean,
yeah, it is Utah. They have the best record in basketball for a reason. Okay, so let's do some scenarios. All right, we've been on here for 2 hours. We're having fun. We've missed each other, guys. We've missed. We won't get to MVP talk tonight. We'll probably talk about it next week.
It's Donovan Mitchell's.
Ooh, and he should be in that conversation. Just to throw it out there. Okay, if these stay the same. Right, we're gonna say these standings stay the same. Mm-hmm. Golden State plays Dallas. Memphis plays San Antonio. Who wins Golden State, Dallas? That's tough.
I'm gonna say Golden State.
Ooh, for some reason I feel the same way.
Like I want Dallas to win this game. Dallas deserves it more, I feel, but Golden State has a history of winning. Mm-hmm. Golden State knows how to win, which is what we talked about. Dallas has struggled in. And in a one-game play-in game, you have Steph Curry.
You got Steph, yeah, and that's what it comes down to. I'll go Golden State there too. Memphis, San Antonio. I'm a Spurs fan, so go ahead, Michael.
I'm looking for a quarter to flip.
Yeah, that's a toss-up. I agree.
Yeah. I want to say San Antonio just out of respect for San Antonio, but I know you're going to, so I'm going to say Memphis just for the fact that we disagree on one of these. And that's legit the only reason why I'm saying Memphis. It's not a televised team. We don't know anything about them really other than Ja.
They need to put them on TV more. I mean, they're the eighth spot in the West. And honestly, they could be a little higher if they would have played those games that they've been missing. I think they had 6 games postponed. So I like San Antonio because I trust Pop.
Right.
And he's done it before in the playoffs. Taylor Jenkins has not, so I'm gonna go with San Antonio. Now we got
random here.
Okay, go ahead.
Rosen, do you think he could be comeback player of the year?
I'm trying to think of who came back. Who was injured last year and came back? Steph. Steph missed how many games last year? With the wrist, he broke his wrist or fractured it or sprained it. It's kind of hard not to. If Golden State makes that play in, it's going to kind of hard to not put Steph as comeback player of the year. Kevin Durant might. To me, he hasn't played enough games. Never mind.
See, my only thing on those is those were injuries. Is why they didn't play. Like DeMar still played last year, and he's came back. Like if Steph didn't break his wrist, it would still be the Steph that we know. But I could easily see it going either way.
Yeah, but usually comeback is when they say, "Oh, you've been injured and you've come back." I guess that's the definition of comeback player. Who knows what the NBA thinks because the MVP is a broader definition than we thought. Now, if Golden State plays Utah in the first round, oh boy.
That would be a wonderful matchup. One very high, fast-paced offense.
Oh, yeah.
Against one that's very methodical, half-court set and going. In a series, I would think that actually would probably go 5 or 6 games. I would probably lean towards 6 if I was a betting man on it, just because I mean, you still have to consider Draymond Green and what he's going to bring onto a playoff atmosphere. But I mean, you have to go with the hottest team in basketball. So I'm going to say Jazz, but I'm going to say 6 games in this.
I think Steph gets you 2. I think Steph gets you 2 games. Now, I don't know about his tailbone, but I think it's okay. It'll be okay by the time the playoffs hit, as long as he does not re-aggravate his tailbone. Because he fell on it the other night and he was kind of wincing, like, oh my goodness. Like, you can kind of tell he was wincing a little bit. But as long as Steph can stay healthy, I think Steph can get you 2 games in that Utah series. But Utah is one of the top defensive teams in the NBA. People don't know that. And they're one of the top offensive teams in the NBA. Even though it's slow and methodical, they score very efficiently. Joe Ingles is a very efficient scorer. So quietly.
He puts you to sleep too. Like
Yeah.
You watching him out there playing, you're like, okay, is this guy going to do anything? And all of a sudden, he's got like 26 points. And you're like, oh, okay, he is here. He can play.
He is. He's won me some money. Shout out to you, Joe Ingles. So,
if we have, you have shouted out more than podcast shows you have. Just so you know, we're about to 15, I think.
I think Utah wins in 6. I think Steph gets you 2. Now, let's look at this Spurs or Memphis Phoenix matchup. I think the Phoenix Suns win that in 5. I'm just putting that out there. Whoever they play.
Yeah,
Spurs
I agree.
Or Memphis.
It's basically the same team. Yeah, I'm going with Suns.
I'm going Suns in 5.
I could even see Suns going in 4, but I will say 5.
I would say 5. I think Pop gets you 1. And I think Ja gets you 1 for Memphis. Clippers,
especially because there will be a home court this year.
Clippers, Portland. Now this here, I don't know, man. You know what? They got Rondo. They look completely different with Rondo.
I'm actually about to say, I think Rondo's going to change his team, especially.
But
I'm not going to say.
Hold on, I'm going to pause you. Pat Bev is out 3 to 4 weeks. He had surgery.
Oh, what on?
Hold on. What did he break? He did something.
Oh, I just thought, hey, you look different. I know why you went on vacation for 2 weeks last week or last 2 weeks. So you wouldn't have to wear Kentucky blue.
He had surgery. He had surgery on his hand. Yeah, it's been a month. Yeah, it's been. I enjoy wearing that shirt. I'll probably play basketball in it and work out in it, honestly.
Oh, wow. Like, I love this shirt. I'm just going to make it like an everyday whatever shirt.
Well, I'm going to play basketball in it. And people are like, you like Kentucky? I'm like, yeah. My co-host Michael loves Kentucky.
That's right.
So I do too. But 3 to 4 weeks, he had hand surgery on his hand. So that's a little significant.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think Rondo makes a difference.
3 to 4 weeks. So that puts him right back at it, start a playoff.
Yeah. And he'll be reevaluated at that point. So if they draw Portland, which is very possible, if Portland holds on to that 6, that could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What you think? How many games? I just don't know. I love Portland. I love Portland.
I'm going to say this. I know you love Portland and their straight up offense.
Mm-hmm.
But with the defense from this team, from the Clippers, I think it's going to be 5 games.
I think it goes 7. I think that's the best.
Really?
I think it goes 7. I think the Denver Lakers game has the potential to go 7 matchup. If it plays out this way, guys, this is hypothetical. This is as of right now standings. And if Clippers in Portland, I think Clippers, Denver, Lakers, and Portland have the toughest matchups in the first round because that's tough. I think it goes 7. I will give it to the Clippers because of Kawhi Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
But if Paul George does not show up, Portland can win that in 6. If Paul George does not show up, with CJ and Dame, Portland could win that in 6 if Paul George just wets the bed.
I think Paul George's defense is more valuable than his offense this series.
Who else is gonna score 25 for the Clippers? Don't worry, I'll wait. I know 2 guys from Portland can give me 25, but I'm gonna tell you this.
Well,
in the playoffs,
I'm not saying
2 guys to score 25.
I'm not saying that his offense can't not show up, but I think it's going to be more valuable. He can't
not show up on offense, though, Michael. He cannot. Right.
Well, I mean, that's why he's a two-way player. I feel like his defense has to be very, very good during this series because, I mean, you've got 3 guys that can easily score 25 points on that team. I mean, Melo can catch fire.
Melo can. Yeah, he can catch fire. And when he catches fire, good luck.
And that's kind of my thought is Paul George would probably be on Melo. Like, if you can contain Melo and let the other 2 do whatever they do, you can get Rondo to stop some and try to put a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. And then you got Leonard to play on that off as well. So I feel like Paul George's defense is going to be more valuable than his offense. Now, he has to score 20 points in these games at least.
Oh, yeah, he does.
But if he doesn't play defense, I don't think they have a chance. So
I think he has to play offense too. I think it works both ways. Now, on the defensive end, he's going to do his thing because he's going to probably have to guard CJ. So it would be starting lineup because Melo comes off the bench. So you'll go, but you would probably put Rondo on Dame because you don't want Kawhi Leonard with that responsibility. Dame runs around too much. He moves around too much. Not Nurk. CJ does too. But Paul George will probably do that because you probably count on Kawhi Leonard's offense a little bit more than Paul George's. So I'll say that. But if Paul George doesn't average 20 in this series, I think Portland can win this in 6. Because of, I know for a fact that Damian Lillard and CJ are going to give me 25 a night. So I know that. That's just something that I know.
I'm just thinking, and this would never happen, but this is just kind of how I think sometimes. I would like to see the Clippers against this team play like a 1-2-2 zone where you've got Paul George on one side and Leonard on the other. You know, like, okay, I love doing things different. That's how I always played. Like, we weren't the best team, but whatever your weakness was, that's what we just pounded you with. And as far as on offense, this is what we do on defense. Okay, we know you struggle on this. This is what we're going to do. Like, we were chameleons, more or less. Like, we didn't have our identity. Our identity was changed by whatever you were. And I absolutely loved about that. We played the number 7 team in Kentucky one time in high school, and it went to double overtime. Our team was bad, but the final score was we lost by 2 points in double overtime, and it was 34-32 in double overtime. And we were fine with it. I was the point guard. I would just stand at the top of the key until they started coming out. Then I'd dribble around, come back. We ran a wheel, basically, and we were okay with that. Like, whatever your strength is, we're going to avoid it and go to a weakness. It changed the game so much that they started stalling the ball on us too because we were staying with them. It's like, okay, we're just going to try to win this game by 1 point. It's fine. But the team should have destroyed us by like 30 points. So I'm seeing this. You've got Leonard and Paul George, who I'm going to say are interchangeable on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I'm not going to. So just set up that way and be okay. CJ's coming around here. You know you're on that side. That is your responsibility. I'm over here. We'll just switch instead of running themselves to death because they do run a lot of wheel. There's a lot of motion in that as far as how they do on those screens and everything. Just switch everything with those guys. Because, I mean, really, if your top 3, Rondo can even guard off both of those guys.
Yeah.
Why not just switch all that?
They will. They'll switch it. And it'll look like a zone because they're going to switch at the top.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's going to be a man, but it's almost like a man in this area.
Yeah. Because they got Nurk. I think Nurk is going to go to work. He's going to be healthy. He's going to go to work. They got Rocco, too. He's their 3-and-D guy. So for me, for Portland to win this series, if Paul George does not average 20, Portland can win this in 6. It's just that simple. If Paul George plays like he's been playing this season thus far, I think that the Clippers win in 7. I do think this goes 6 or 7. I don't see.
I'm sticking with 5.
2. You don't think Dame can get you 2?
Well, it's different because there's home court. It's so crazy this year now, and the normal is crazy now. I'm just with my gut. The defense is going to be so locked in on that for the Clippers. I feel like it's going to be 5. I really do. It's a great team. I think Rondo, Beverly. I think that plays a big part in it. So I'm actually just going to lock that in and go with my gut because we need to make a little bit of bold decisions here. I think
we do.
So I'm going to go with 5 on this. Now, can they beat them? Absolutely. The Blazers has the offense of greatness individually. But I also think if they get down and they're not in survival mode or they get to survival mode, that can cause some conflict with that team as well.
Okay.
You disagree with me completely. I can see
it. No.
Yes, don't you lie.
I still think Dame is going to lose in 5. I can't see it. It's okay. We need bold predictions here. We already talked about the Nuggets and the Lakers. We talked about it at that beginning. But just in case you guys missed it, because we have 3 eyes on us, shout out to 3 eyes.
Woo! Shout out to everyone. Just everyone. Shout out to the world.
I'm giving shout outs, baby. Today is shout out day. Now, I said if Denver, this could go 6 or 7. I honestly believe this is the series that probably could go 6 or 7. If Anthony Davis is not available, I say Denver has a puncher's chance in Game 7.
6.
If Anthony Davis is healthy, I think the Lakers win this in 6. Go ahead, Michael.
I think if Denver has the advantage with no Anthony Davis, I think they win in 6.
Okay.
If Anthony Davis is there, I think Lakers win in 5.
You only giving a Joker one game? You think Denver gets one game?
Man, you're right. Okay, 6.
It's tough to play in Denver.
I'm going to go with 6 with both.
Okay.
Because here's my thing on this. Denver has to prove something this year, I think. Michael Porter Jr., this is his year to prove that he is legit. And he's been playing great. But if he wets the bed, as you say, in the playoff, it's a failed year. I think Denver has the hype and that they can't go backwards from last year, even if they're playing Lakers. That's why I kind of asked you that earlier. I said, if it's not Lakers and they lose, it's a waste of season. You said, yeah, but I almost feel like even if it is the Lakers in this scenario, it's still going to be a waste.
It's hard to argue with that.
It is. Of course it is. But now, the best thing that can happen if they lose the series, the Lakers have to win it for them. Like, you lost to the best team. We faced them in the worst position. We would not have faced them if AD and LeBron would have been hurt. We wouldn't have faced them till a couple more rounds. We can accept that.
I think the Lakers would probably be 3 right now. Because I don't think they would have a better record than the Suns. The Suns are just playing great basketball right now.
And shout out Chris Paul. Like, hear me? I did that. So thankful. Chris Paul. I mean, he needs a ring.
Oh my goodness. We'll talk about dark horse MVP candidates next week, but those are the standings, guys. Those are the standings, and that's how we feel. We've talked about this a lot.
How do you feel, people?
How do you feel? Love that you're still in sports. I know you do. I know you're still. Miss your coach.
Thank you.
It's all warm in there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Michael to Michael.
That's right. This kid, I coached him. I don't even know what year it was, but I think it was like a 5th grade. So had him as a young kid. My wife is a teacher, used to teach at school. Michael, I don't know if you know this or not, but before I started coaching and was even involved with the school, my wife seen you there, and she's like, there's a kid here. His name's already Michael. I just want to adopt him and bring him into our family. He's a great kid growing up to be a young man. Love sports, and I do appreciate it. I had them all thinking I was great because I bounced the ball off the wall and made it into the goal one time. And it's like, I always do this stuff. Like when the crazy things happen, I don't crack a smile. I don't laugh. I'm just like, dog, I'm supposed to be doing this. That's how good I am.
It's a normal day for me. Normal day in the office, right, Michael?
That's right. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, we thank all of you that have commented. Right?
Yes.
We've had a 2.5-hour show. You can tell we've missed each other because we usually go for about an hour and a half. But we've missed one another. Next week we will talk MVP. We didn't get to that tonight, but next week we will. And that will probably be a deep conversation.
Yes.
Because I think it's going to heat up. That race is heating up fast.
If you watched their show today for the whole time, you probably know I'm not going to go with LeBron James. Just throwing that out there.
We all know how you feel about LeBron. If you're a regular watcher of Count the Bucket, or any stream,
or my life,
or his life, or any stream that me and Michael and I do together, you know that him and LeBron are not peanut butter and jelly like
we got beef.
They've got beef. Grilled up, slice, Yahtzee.
There we go. That was my saying. They used to make fun of me because I don't always get out there and play with them. And these kids, they never seen you tricks. Put the ball between your legs, like, oh, Yahtzee, got him, Yahtzee. Sorry, my playing day's coming out. I'm about to.
This is the real us. This is the real us.
This is unwrapping us right now. Listen.
Yes. Unwrapping Amber and Michael, the Unwrapped Sports Network edition.
That almost sounds like a OnlyFans there. And you knew it as soon as you said it.
We could create an OnlyFans and talk about sports and see how many people will pay us. Perry, you get 10%.
That's awful high, but Perry, it depends on what you do on the show with us. If you Amber,
I'm
what's
just
something
saying.
you did? What is something that you always did in basketball? Because everyone's got something like, the throwing up the powder, oh, lacing your shoes a certain way. Did you always holler something? Because in high school, we always hollered butter. Like as soon as the shot's going, oh, butter, smooth like butter, melted butter. People holler. See, there you go. Wet. We know Perry says moist, which is the weirdest thing ever. Never scream moist when you're playing basketball or
Basketball,
in a loud.
wet is good, but moist is not. I don't
Yeah,
know how that's
yeah. Moist means you need to go take a shower. I don't care what you're doing. Like you could hit a 5-point play, even though there's no such thing. You holler moist, you ain't playing no more. Okay, just go
They're gonna
away.
look at you like, what? I'm just gonna give you the bucket because that's just nasty.
Moist, switch. I want to guard him. I'm
Yeah,
getting away from moist.
I'm getting away from moist. Some things I did in basketball. I used to wipe my shoes a lot. I wiped my shoes a lot, and I don't understand
Are
why.
you
Like the
are
bottom
you
of my
talking to the
shoe.
bottom? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I used to take the sweat. I know this is nasty, guys. Basketball, we did, take the sweat from my forehead and wipe my
Uh-huh.
shoes with it.
Oh yeah.
My mom said,
Everyone did
Amber,
that.
you just had the nasty shoes on the floor. I said, Mama, I just got done playing. Like, I'm going to wash my face. I'm going to take a shower in the locker room. Just let me breathe. Let me
Yeah, see,
live. Like,
around here, and I know you played a college ball too, right?
mhm.
See, even in high school, and I played 1 year of college, but even then we didn't really do much of the showering. I don't know if it's just our area. I still got
Do much of the showering.
like the locker room scenarios, where
Okay.
everyone's like, okay, let's go shower and have yay. Like that
We
didn't.
had to shower before we got on the bus, and which was
Oh, okay.
great because we had a
That's
long road back.
that's
And who wants
probably a
to
good
smell
idea then.
themselves for 4 or 5 hours? Nobody.
Okay, that does make sense. I'm trying to think, what else did I ever do? I mean, everyone does the shoes.
Hmm.
I always wore like had to have a sleeveless under. I don't know how people played in just a jersey.
Yeah, sleeveless. Okay.
Oh yeah, had to do that. I had my hair in
Hmm.
cornrows for a game one time.
Why did you lose a bet or something? What happened there?
No, actually, we were playing the team that I used to go to high school to. I played as a freshman year. Sophomore year, I actually got cut, so I transferred, went to another school. One went on to state that next year, but I mean, not bitter or anything.
Who's keeping up with the record?
Uh,
Who's keeping up with it?
I mean, so we were playing them, and one of the girls, and she was a sophomore, I was a junior, or no, she was a freshman. She was like, I can do a cornrow because I was like, I want to do something. I've never wore a sweatband. I have got long hair. And she's like, I can do cornrows. So like every class period, I just followed the freshman around, sitting down at her desk. School did not care at all. Just rolling away. They're like, Lawson, what are you doing here? It's like, getting my hair cornrowed. It's like, you're getting your hair cornrowed? I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, what are you talking about here? Yeah, it's a cool thing to do. Yeah, my mom didn't even recognize me on the court at first because I had it
Wow.
cornrowed with
I
the
need a
sweatband
picture of
around.
this. This is hilarious. Can we get a picture in the screen share? Can we do that?
I'm going to keep that one to myself, I think. Now, if I can find one, I'll let you see it.
Ooh, that would make my day. That'd be very interesting to see.
I would say this: shout out to anyone that has ever had their hair cornrow because that hurts.
Well, I'm going to say this: the the Black community is used to it. We're used to it. We're used to it.
Of course,
I
as
have my
I
hair
say,
braided a lot. Yeah, we're used to it.
I mean, obviously, as I say, the freshman girl did it for me. I mean, obviously, she couldn't do this. She's done it many a time.
Yeah. It
So,
hurts,
like,
but we're used to it, though, Michael.
She just pulled my head around like crazy, like, over here, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, that's attached, Like, and she told me, like, the more you do this, the better it is. I'm like, but I don't ever want to do this again.
Michael, I can say, speaking for the Black community, it gets better. It gets better. The first time you get it done, I was probably a child. It probably was not comfortable for me, but we're used to it. The more you get it done, the better it feels. I'm just saying, and that does not.
I am going to ask
right.
this as
But
I'm going to ask
you get
this.
it done, the better it feels. We're real and raw.
Does it get easier because you get used to the pain, or does it just kind of it doesn't hurt as bad?
Your
the reason I asked that,
your scalp gets used to it.
okay,
Your scalp does.
because
Yeah.
I know you've probably seen pictures of my family. I have adopted a black daughter
Uh-huh.
who we know absolutely nothing about on this hair stuff,
Ooh,
and
ooh, I'm sorry, Michael.
it
I'm
is
sorry.
tough. And she will scream for literally hours as my wife tries to do stuff with her hair. And we've got friends who like try this, try that, try this, and we've
Do you
tried
have any black
everything.
friends giving you advice on the hair?
Well, I'm so happy. We just got a new babysitter, and she is black.
Okay, thank
And
you. That helps. That helps.
I mean, as soon as she came in the door, it was almost bad and comical at the same time. She has grandkids. So I mean, she's an older lady. I'm not saying too like old because she's only like 15, 20 years older than me. But as soon as she walked in the door, she's like, "Oh yeah, I do my grandkids' hair and everything." It's like, man, is her hair that bad? It's like that's the first thing you said to me when you met me. But she's like, "No, no, no, I love doing hair too. Anytime you want me to do your hair, Kaylin, that's fine. I don't care one bit to." And of course, my daughter, who hates it completely, is like, "No, you ain't touching my head." I'm like, "This could
You
be
got to have her
great
do
because
it. Michael, you have to.
oh, she's going to be doing it. I mean, she may end
Okay.
up with like a car or something at the age of 4, but we're going to bribe her some way into getting
Yes.
her hair done because
Yes.
we tried and we go. Uh, we've taken her to a place. There's Lake Cumberland here. It's about a 2-hour drive. That is a bigger city.
Mhm.
More options on different things. We'll go there to a beautician that knows more how to deal with that style of hair,
Mhm.
and afterwards she'll look beautiful. She's beautiful. God already. That sounds worse. And then, and I see there's things that we just don't know. It
I
blows
know.
my mind.
I
Like,
know.
I never knew of a silk pillowcase. Like, that's a must.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Silk
It's
pillowcase and silk bonnet. Oh, yeah. It's a must.
well, we bought a bonnet and she absolutely will not wear it. Like in the
She
middle of
has to
that,
wear the
it is.
bonnet. She has to wear the bonnet. Michael, make her with a bonnet. The
I've tried,
silk
and so
pillowcase is a must.
we're
Yes.
trying the silk pillowcase, but she just doesn't like it either. Like, if maybe we're going wrong by saying it'll help her hair because when it comes to her hair, she don't want nothing done.
Do it. But when
So
she
maybe
gets
that,
older, what about 3 or 4 years old, Michael? She's gonna want that hair done.
right,
Trust me.
right.
She's gonna want to look cute for the little
Since you-
boys and all that.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
I know you don't want to hear
whoa.
this, Michael. I'm just being real. Because when I was 4, I didn't care nothing about my hair either. Actually, I didn't care nothing about my hair for a long time. I was a tomboy. Depending on what kind
Mhm.
of daughter you have, in about 3 or 4 years, she's gonna want to do something with it. So train it
And
now, Michael.
so we're
Train it
trying to.
now.
We are trying. I'm trying to find a picture. Look how cute she is. Is she not a doll?
Oh, look at that. Cutest
And I
little
see you looking
button.
at the hair too.
Oh, I'm
It's,
trying to see the big bow. Is that a bow?
yes, of course.
Okay, that's
This was Easter. This is the
uh,
family.
oh, y'all took a family photo.
I'm
Michael,
gonna
look.
just go ahead and I mean, since this is like very raw, this is what happened. So me and my wife, we tried to have us children for 6 years, and nothing ever would happen. Apparently, I didn't
Oh.
know what was going on, and so we tried to adopt. And 2 years in adoption, nothing ever happened either. So
Uh-huh.
we actually had a house catch on fire.
Oh wow.
We didn't lose everything, but we had to do a lot of remodeling and insurance. Thank the Lord helped us out there. So 1 month moving back in, we found out that we were pregnant. 3 months later, we found out we were chosen to adopt.
Oh
And
wow.
she was actually her birth mother. His birthday is the day after my wife's birthday. And she did not want to, she was already a week late. She said, I'm going to go into labor on the 14th because my birthday is the 15th. I don't want to make that natural and she'd be born on my birthday. I would hate that. So we went to Louisville, it's where she's from,
Mhm.
and found the hotel, or found, this is literally what we did. We got directions to the hospital, and then we put into our Waze app or something, I don't know, around me, and found a hotel, closest hotel. That's the only thing we knew to do. My wife was 8 months pregnant, I think.
Oh wow.
So
She was
we
almost ready
went,
to.
yeah, she was pretty close. So we went to the hotel, took an hour nap, went to eat, and then my wife said, I think I'm going into labor.
Oh
So
wow.
we went straight back to the hospital because that's the only thing we knew where it was, anyways. My wife gave birth on her birthday to my son, who was 5 weeks early, and my daughter was born 10 hours later. So kind of, I have twins. They're born on the same day.
You
So
do.
how cool is that?
That's a
Of
neat
course,
story, Michael.
I thought I was getting my wife, of course I'm a big jokester. So people be like, oh yeah, you've got twins. That's so cute. I'm like, yeah, I've got twins with a different mother. One day she stopped me and said, and a different father, if you think about it. It's like, you ruined it for me. Oh,
It's
that's
funny
the
how
story.
God works. That's a blessing.
I honestly could keep on going if you wanted me to. My daughter, the youngest one, was even a godsend as well. You want me to go into it? I'll be quick if you want me to.
You'll
It
be
doesn't
quick.
matter. I'm going to. So she was actually an accident. It just kind of happened. You go 6 years, didn't think anything would ever happen. This this definitely should be a fans only. Just throwing it out. But she was born 12 weeks early. I will have each year for 1 month. I will have three children the same age. She's born September, so when she turns 4 in September, I will have three 4-year-olds for 28 days.
Wow.
Yes. The reason that she was godsend was she spent 87 days in the NICU and down in Tennessee, and she actually saved her brother's life. He had a weird disease that we did not know about. They just kept telling us it was pneumonia, and we went to the special children's hospital, and they found out that he had congenital lobar emphysema, and every time he would breathe, his lungs would expand, but they would never deflate. So he kept just getting bigger.
Oh
So he
wow.
had emergency lung surgery 6 days after she was born in the NICU. And basically, him or she coming early saved his life because they said he would just suffocate in his sleep or he would have just died from cancer from it, turned into cancer.
Wow.
So
So you got miracle
you're right.
babies. You got a house full
I
of miracle
do.
babies.
Well, see, there's an article written out and kind of made some headlines. Miracle twins is what they used to call the twins, is miracle twins. But now it's kind of like miracle triplets, if you will. I don't know.
Yeah. So all of them will be going to college around the same time. All of them will be start driving around the same time. Oh, that's
Yes,
neat.
yes.
That's
So
neat.
we need everyone to go out and start paying to that Patreon right away for my children's college, for their proms, for their dresses, for their graduations, for their cars.
Help us out here, man. Help us
Good
out.
job, Amber. So we need another star, and it needs to be like a star that has two other ones with it, and just be like representing my three children. And it can be a $25 a month payment, where 10 goes to Unwrapped Sports Network, and 15 comes to me.
There we go.
Yes, that's what we need.
Guys, help Michael out here. Support the Patreon. Patreon.com/unwrapsports. Because I had no idea he had kids all in the same age bracket.
Yes.
The miracle babies. They will be driving soon. We got college, we've got prom, we've got dances, we've got all these things that the Lawson family needs to take care of. So, guys, go support us.
Please help. Please
$1 a
help.
month would be fine. $5 a month would be great. $10 a month would be excellent. So
Anything over that goes to me.
anything, all the extra proceeds goes to the Lawson family. Patreon.com/unwrapsports.
That was a good transition there, right?
You know what I mean? And also, if you also want to support the Lawson family, check this out too. Just check this out. We got
there we go.
teespring.com/store/unwrapped. And we're going to scroll down here. I'm sorry, Michael, for your eyes. Come on.
That's
internet.
okay. I'm ready now.
Okay.
I'm waiting on it.
You got to get you some backstop banter gear. You got to. Get you some gear, guys. Get different colors, different sizes. Help out the Lawson family. You know what I mean?
Amber's all like sad for my family. And I was like, listen,
Because
guys, help him out.
That's a lot to pay for. I mean, wait, Unwrapped wants your support. Shop now. I've already shopped. I'll do some more shopping. Unwrapped, don't worry, I'll do some more shopping.
Thank you.
Help them out here, guys. You get this shirt in different colors. Look at this, guys. You know what I mean? We got college. We got 3 different cars we need to buy. We probably got iPhones we need to buy, iPads, MacBooks. You name it, the Lawson family needs it. All right, guys. Because I could not imagine having 3 kids around it unless they were triplets, you know what I mean? Like born on the same day.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
Michael, that's crazy. I never knew that.
yeah.
So we're gonna help
We've
you
had a
out.
good story. Thank
You
you.
got a
Thank you.
great story. And
Thank you.
guys, we're doing this because check this out. I didn't know how expensive kids were. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that, guys. This is just so beautiful. I didn't know how expensive kids were until my friends had children. Like I had no clue how expensive I was. My mom said, Amber, you were expensive. I didn't know that until we get older and we realize, dang, like our friends have kids or we have kids, which I don't have any, but our friends have children. You're like, wait a minute. Pampers are how much? Daycare is how much?
Yes. Oh, that's going to say last year alone, daycare was over $9,000 easily.
See, that's why you have to
That's
support us,
that's why we've
guys.
got a babysitter this year. We said daycare. We'll just keep them at home if we can.
Yeah, that's they can
Yeah.
get their interaction at school. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. We'll
when
just
they go to
delay that.
they can get the interaction at school because I did not know that, Michael. I was oblivious to it. When I was growing up, I was like, I don't think I was that bad. My mom said, you played
Hmm.
every sport. I had to
Oh yeah.
support you with everything. Amber, I could write a bill for your expenses every.
Did you play softball?
I did. I played softball all the way up until middle school. I didn't have
Okay,
time at that point.
so you had basketball sneakers, you
Hmm.
had cleats. You
Hmm.
also have said that you played football too,
Hmm.
and I
I had
guarantee
karate.
those.
I did karate. Had karate
And
tournaments. Dope. That's not cheap
I
either.
oh yeah, I'd say your football cleats were different than your baseball cleats.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, you were expensive.
I had to have track shoes too. When I used to run track.
Oh yeah, I didn't run. I just run to the refrigerator. That's it. So
But guys, this is why we love doing this. This is why we want you guys to support us, not just because of the content we create, but we support. I support as many people as I can. I'm just one me. Michael does the same thing. We love you guys. We want to push this content out, give you guys great content, give you guys promo codes, give you guys chances to win things. We love each other. We really do. You see Michael and I having a real conversation live. It's almost been 3 hours live on Count the
really have.
Bucket. We're talking about family. We're talking about,
Mhm.
why everything go to law school. We're talking about, all kinds of great things on Count the Bucket. We don't hold anything back. So we're having a good time chatting. But the support is wanted in so many different ways. And I'm pretty sure Michael can attest to that. We just love
Oh yeah.
support. That's
Well,
that's
it's
all.
since we're kind of being the sentimental part of this, anyways. Even I think and I'm not saying it jokingly. I'm sorry. Uh, even my wife, she's making the sacrifices for me to be able to do this. Like,
Mhm.
as soon as I got home, I ran straight up here. The kids were already bathed. They're already in their beds. She even had my laptop turned on here with my headphones laying on it.
Aw.
I asked her if she fixed water. So I mean, guys, this goes beyond just me and Amber doing this. Like, there's different things that people have to sacrifice for us, and we love doing this. Like this, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't. I mean, this is a hobby that we enjoy. We would love to make it even bigger for us. So
Mhm.
please support us if you even like just this part of it. Heck, maybe we'll change Count the Bucket to change count our lifestyles. I don't know.
We can get an OnlyFans and 10% does go to Perry, but me and Michael, we can split the profits
There we
and we
go.
can we can make some money off of this. But our OnlyFans will be rated G because Michael's married and I just don't get down like that, and neither does Michael. Um,
Oh,
so
oh,
we might do something like the lady that eats. I bet she makes a lot of money.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
But
But
I
that'd
don't think I
probably.
could gain that weight though. I wouldn't want to gain that weight.
Oh, I don't want to, but I could gain it. I could
I need to
watch
be able
you
to fit
eat, and
my
I would gain
clothes.
it. Yeah.
I need to be able to run up and down the court. I'm still trying to get my Achilles together, so that extra weight would not help. I like fitting
Hmm.
into my clothes. I don't want to have to buy a whole new wardrobe because I made a little money on OnlyFans. Now,
But what if you could afford that wardrobe just because you ate like 10 hot dogs in 10 minutes?
I haven't had a hot dog in years. Ooh,
Are you serious? Oh,
I
they're
don't
so
eat pork.
good.
I don't eat pork.
What do you eat?
I'm a fruits and vegetables type of gal. Every now and then I'll eat some chicken. Had a couple of slices of Papa John pizza, not much, and I threw the rest away.
A
Just not.
couple?
Yeah, just a
You
couple.
threw a pizza away? Like you have to eat at least half of it at one sitting.
Well, it was a small, but I only ate a couple because I just got done playing basketball, and I'm usually not that hungry. I'm just usually really thirsty. So I
Hmm.
had one of these, another water, and a G2 Gatorade, and then I had half of that pizza. I was like, yeah, I should have got a
Yeah, me
salad or
too.
something.
Yeah,
Mind
I
you,
ate half that pizza. Went, ugh, I need to eat the other half now.
yeah, I can't do that anymore. I used to be able to when I was in college, Michael. I used to be able to eat like I get done playing basketball or something like out of
Mhm.
practice. I'm going to Little Caesars and get a $5 pizza, the $5 hot and ready's because it was right down the street. I could eat that in one setting and be fine. Now I'm lactose, so the cheese didn't sit well too well. But
Oh, no, it didn't sit very long at all, did it?
no, so I got rid of some of it, but I could do that. But now in my 30s, I cannot do that. My body will
Really?
not allow it. Mm-mm.
We used to in college had a roommate. Me and it was three of us in a room, and this guy loved extra cheese pizzas, and he was
Ooh.
lactose intolerant. Me
Oh,
and my other roommate, we would actually just try to make bets on how long it would take before he has to run out and go to the bathroom, and he would
it's a
be gone at
struggle.
least. Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh my goodness," so that's kind of how he talked. That's what I was mimicking, and he would jet out of the door to make it to the bathroom. It was hilarious. Like, dude, why are you getting the extra cheese pizza? You're lactose intolerant.
Intolerant. That
He'd
makes
always be
sense.
like, "It's just good."
It is. It's good, but I don't get the extra cheese. That's just doing too much.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean,
yeah. Mm-mm. I ate half a small. I'll throw that. I'm throwing the other half away, sitting in the kitchen because I just cannot. I can't stomach a lot of foods anymore. The older I've gotten, the more like. I couldn't eat. I remember I used to eat a hamburger like 2 or 3 times a week. I could probably eat a hamburger maybe once a month. I couldn't tell you the last time I had a hamburger. Mhm.
really.
Now chicken, I do chicken, either grilled, air fryer, baked, something like that. But it's in small
Oh,
doses.
so are you a health nut?
I to a certain extent, yes.
Okay. So, like, what I'm hearing is sports trainer, lawyer, agency. Okay, got it now.
Sprinkle a little bit of health in there,
Hmm.
just a little
You know what,
salt, babe.
Amber? This is our fans only, only fans, however it goes, show. We're going to talk about health food, and you're going to make me lose weight. Like, you're going to say, Michael, you shouldn't eat this today, shouldn't eat this. This is what you should have substitute. This is what you need to do to get rid of
Let
your
me ask you.
carbs.
Let me ask you a question. Are you going to eat something when you get off of here,
Yes.
Michael? It is 1 o'clock. It's 1:30 in the morning.
Yes, before the show started, I had a craving when I went to get my wife some pop and I bought it. And this whole time we've been on the show, it's been in the back of my head that I still haven't ate it.
What did you buy, Michael? You can go ahead and say
You,
it.
you, you, Doritos and some chip dip.
Okay, Michael. I don't have a problem with you eating at 1:30 in the morning, but does your stomach agree with you at 1:30 in the morning?
Oh yeah, man. As much as I put it through in this whole life, it's ready. It's like a tank.
Okay, Michael. As long as you can stomach it, I'm fine with it. Because if I was to eat something like that at 1:30 in the morning, I would not be able to sleep.
Really
Mhm. If
won't
I eat
bother
at
me
one
a bit.
o'clock in the morning, if I do, it's some fruit. I can't eat past a certain time. I can't eat like usually I have dinner ready for my mom when she gets off work. We'll probably have dinner around 7:15.
Hmm.
I'll go walk/run 3 miles,
Oh
um,
yeah, yeah, that's not
and
good.
then have dinner ready and come home and
And
prepare
I'll say
dinner.
this too, as we have this random conversation about healthy and eating, I'm obviously overweight. Let's just be honest. In our area where I live, we don't really have great options of where you can get like healthy food, and I know that's
Oh,
crazy too.
wow.
Like we have a Food City Walmart and a store called Don's. It's named after the person that's a grocery store. I mean, you have health food, but it's probably not the best, and if it is there, it's very expensive. Like it's
Okay.
crazy. Like you'll hear Kentucky Southeast overweight, all this stuff. It's because there's not really much for us here.
Hmm.
You need to do some research and look at Harlan County, Kentucky, and you'll be like, okay, so it's a lot of coal miners, it's a lot of just poverty area. There's not a major road that goes through here.
Wow.
It's kind of just left. I mean, there's a 2-lane and a 4-lane, but like interstate to get to a main interstate, it is an hour and a half drive either way you go. So it's kind of isolated. It's between some mountains. It's just like, it's over there. Who cares?
How far are you away from Louisville, and how far are you away from Lexington?
Lexington is 3 hours. Louisville is 4 hours. We're actually closer to Knoxville, Tennessee, than we are Lexington.
Oh.
Kind of crazy.
You're just there. Your town is just there. Wow, you guys don't have a Sprouts or a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods?
I don't know what you just said.
You never heard of Sprouts, the all natural organic food store? Trader Joe's?
Yeah, no, there's nothing like that here.
Whole Foods, nothing.
Nope. We have a Kroger in the next county over, which is like a 50-minute drive, but it's Kroger's.
Have you ever heard of Costco? You gotta. Yeah, we got.
No, we ain't got no Costco.
No Costco.
No Costco. I'm telling you, you need to Google.
I'm gonna do that tonight.
Let's go ahead and share that screen. Share that screen of Harlan County, Kentucky.
Okay.
You might see my face pop up. No, I'm playing.
Harlan County. Oh boy, Harlan County, Kentucky.
Hey,
I'm gonna share it.
Okay, good, because I'm sitting here
Let me share it.
because I'm thinking, oh
This
gosh,
is
what's going to
interesting.
pop up here?
Harlan County.
Harlan actually
Kentucky.
has a lot of. Listen at you. How you making fun of us?
It's okay. People make fun of Oklahoma all the time. It's known for folk and country music. Wow.
I didn't know that, but okay.
The Black Mountains, got the Coal Mining Museum. Population 26,000. Oh my.
Mm-hmm. And that's been declining. What's crazy about that, at one point in Harlan County, there were more people living in the tri-states, is what we call Lynch, Benham, and Cumberland. It's a little area. There were more people living in those 3 small places than in New York City.
Wow.
Yes.
Unemployment rate is high. Goodness
yes.
grief.
Yes.
Oh my. Oh, the poorest town in Kentucky. Franklin.
Franklin County?
Uh-huh.
Or Franklin City. I was going to say Franklin is actually where Frankfort is, and that's our state capital. Hopefully it's not talking about the county there.
The poorest town in Kentucky is Franklin, which is near Kentucky-Tennessee border.
Okay.
Right off of Interstate 65.
Okay.
Oh my, Harlan. Have you ever thought about moving out of Harlan, or you just
absolutely not. Not until my mother and father pass away.
Your mother and father there? Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense.
There's a song by Brad Paisley. He actually redid it. It's called Never Leave Harlan Alive. And it's legit. It's crazy. It's actually written by Patty Loveless first in like the 70s or 80s or something. Talks about how coal mining is the only thing here, and how you basically, if you ever leave Harlan, you'll end up coming back and you'll die in your grave because you're digging coal from the bottom of your grave is what it talks about. It's legit. It's a great song. We love it because we're a coal place. Like, we just now, as you see here, Wet City, I see there, we just now became a wet city like this year. That's how far behind we are.
Oh my.
Not that I drink, but you are so depressed about Harlan, Kentucky now.
I mean, I just didn't know how small it was. When you told me you just have a Walmart, you don't know what Whole Foods or Sprouts, Trader Joe's, not even a Costco.
No, our closest Costco, I think, is Lexington.
So do you got a McDonald's, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Every fast food we're gonna have, that's what
the problem is. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, Michael.
Listen at you. You're
it's
like
small.
depressed about this.
I'm not depressed.
But we love it.
I'm shocked.
If that makes sense.
It is.
We love it. Like, I don't want to say anything that sounds too bad or off color here, so stay with me.
Okay.
The world almost feels like it's totally away from us. Does that make sense? All these things that go on.
Yeah.
Like, you have so many different problems that you see. I mean, just this last year has been horrible in all the world of just how no one gets along. Here in Harlan, people are going to have guns on them, but it's fine. Like, that's okay. Like, people come in. I work at Tractor Supply. If you ever heard of Tractor Supply,
Oh yeah,
and we got people.
We have one in Oklahoma. We have some.
Okay, I figured. But like, we got people coming with pistols all the time, but that doesn't affect us. Like, that's just okay. They may be going up in the woods. They may see snakes whenever they're doing something that's protection. It's not a big deal. But like, if that was to go on any big city or something, that'd be frowned upon. Nobody really hates each other here. Everyone knows their business, but it can be a little bit hard. Small town girl, if you will. But no, I mean, we're family. If someone's pulled over side of the road, hood up and tire out, somebody's probably going to stop and help them change it. That's a good feeling. I like Harlan.
Oh, Harlan is your heart, and Harlan is home.
Yeah, you'll have to come visit sometime. You'll love it.
How do you get to Harlan? How do you catch a flight to Harlan?
Well, you'd have to go to Knoxville.
Okay. Okay.
Or Lexington. Get on I-75, go south or north, whichever place you go, and then take some back roads.
Wow. I'm really fascinated by people that live in a city smaller than Oklahoma City, even though that's our metropolitan in Oklahoma. I'm really fascinated by people from smaller towns. It really fascinates me.
One person from here actually won The Voice, so that was kind of cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So we got some talented singers here, that's for sure.
Got some talent in Harlan. Don't sleep on Harlan. Ladies and gentlemen, do not sleep on Harlan.
Have you ever heard of 98 Degrees?
Yes.
The group 98 Degrees. Nick Lachey, yes. He was actually born in Harlan. He doesn't really claim Harlan, but he was born here and then moved straight on up to Ohio. So Justified. You ever watch the TV series Justified? It's based in Harlan. And it's pretty accurate, actually.
Okay, I'm through season 1. I need to get to season 2. Wow.
Okay. I actually didn't watch any of it hardly, but I watched the first episode, and there was a lady, Maggie Bennett is her name. There was actually a lady that grew up here. Her first name was Maggie, and she was a bootlegger, and she put a lot of the lawyers through school. So it is taking some of her history. I won't go any details of the Bennett's last name because it's still very active. Okay. But yeah, it does pretty good. Now, bazookas and stuff that they have, no, that's not going to happen here. But there's a reason we're called Bloody Harlan. There's a big cold look at you. It's not as bad as it sounds. Don't watch Harlan County, USA, because that's pretty crazy. It's back in the 70s, the Cold War went on here, basically, where the workers went on strike and was stopping all production of coal, and it did get a little bloody. Like, there were some picket lines and everything going on. It's very informative, very historic.
Now, when I watch Justified season 2, because I'm getting ready to start that, because I watched season 1 like last year, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch season 2, but I gotta start watching something else. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch season 2 with a different mindset now. Thank you, Mike.
You're like, hey, I'm like the opening scene. They're like on this bridge, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of old school bridge. That we actually have a bridge here. Like it's been condemned. Like there's no crossing it, but it's still sitting there. It's kind of like a monumental bridge there. So I thought that was neat. They had that kind of form of bridge, and it kind of looks like that. So it's really neat that they did that.
See, I learn something new every day, guys.
You do.
We're learning about each other because, see, I'm from Oklahoma City, but when I met people from New York, LA, even Dallas is, Dallas is 4 hours from us, but we meet people from bigger cities. They're like, man, what is it like to live in Oklahoma City? Like, do y'all horse and buggy? And I'm like, no, it's very active. Like, we got the thunder here and all this other stuff. And then, they're from New York. They go to OU and then they come to Oklahoma City from Norman's about 30 minutes from Oklahoma City. They're like, wow, like really? Like, I got highways running through. I got all this stuff going on. Yeah, we do. Like, yeah. So when you find somebody from a small town, the community is all together. That's really interesting for me because where I live in Yukon might have more people than Harlan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's very interesting to see because I live in a suburb outside of Oklahoma City, west of Oklahoma City. So it's very interesting to see people that, like, if you ask, like, hey, I went to Whole Foods today and bought some fresh fruit. You're like, what is Whole Foods? You guys don't have that.
Well, see, like even with Connie on my Backside Banter, who lives in New York, he always says he works at a what's he say? A grocery store or something like that. Produce store is what he says.
Mhm.
And I've been to New York City, so I know like every 5 steps you got like this all natural stuff there. And I'm sitting there thinking, I mean, that would be cool to have here. Like, I think it would be different for a lot of people in this area if those things were available, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's easier for us to just swing by McDonald's. I mean, okay, 2,600 people, very small, or 26,000 people, very small of a neighborhood. We have 2 Subways. That's good. We have 2 Hardee's, a McDonald's. We have a Rax. Have you ever heard of a Rax? In Kentucky, there is only one Rax, and it is in Harlan County, Kentucky.
Of course.
Pizza Hut, Papa
Okay.
John's. I said Hardee's already. We used to have a little Long John Silver's that went away.
Domino's?
We don't have a Domino's. I wish we did. Those so much better.
Little Caesars?
A Little Caesars. We do have Little Caesars, a Dairy Queen,
Chipotle?
KFC, Taco Bell. No. That's getting too fancy. The
Starbucks?
only
No.
No, we ain't got no Starbucks.
Hmm.
No. It's depressing. No. But our only sit down restaurant that we have 2 now, and they're both Mexican restaurant stores. Like, you go for Mexican food. That is as fancy
So y'all
as
don't
we
have a Chili's, a Buffalo Wild Wings,
get.
Applebee's, Texas Roadhouse, none of that?
No, none of that.
How's date night? What do you do for date night? Like, what does date night conspire?
You go to the
of?
Mexican restaurant.
Oh,
Well, I'm married with 3 kids now. We go shopping.
Okay.
Yeah, we go to Walmart, buy groceries.
Okay. Yeah, you got to keep the marriage spicy, man. We got to keep the wife happy.
Romance.
The romance is not dead. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael, how long you been married? 11 years, 12 years, 11 years?
11 years, I think.
11. Oh, you think your wife will not be watching this? Michael's been married for 11 years. I know it was around there. So he has to keep the spice. You got to keep the spice in the marriage. So when they keep the spice, they go shopping. Bam.
She loves it when I say, "Hey, babe, do we need Pampers?" And she says, "Yes."
Yes. It's an aphrodisiac. Yes.
That's right.
That's right. Oh, guys, it's been fun. But I have to shower and get in my bed. I have a long day tomorrow. I have my podcast tomorrow, job applications tomorrow I got to do. So.
Oh, you filling out job applications for Harlan?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the possibilities are endless here.
I'll just transfer my post office job to Harlan, and we'll call it a day.
There we go. Is that where you work at a post office?
Yeah, I used to deliver mail. That's how I tore my Achilles. I was delivering mail. So.
Wait, you actually were like walking?
Yeah, you walk to deliver. Oh, that's right. You're from somewhere else.
We do actually have some that walk in our downtown city, but it's like
your box is on your curb, isn't it? Your box is on your curb.
Yeah.
See, in my neighborhood, my box is on my curb, but in some neighborhoods, a lot of neighborhoods in Oklahoma and Oklahoma City are not on the curb.
Gotcha.
So you probably live in something called a rural area, so you probably have a rural route. You're out in the middle of nowhere. Because we are technically. My mom's house is a rural route because it's a newly built neighborhood, so it's a rural route. It would consider it a rural route. So that's what you have. But I've been at the post office since September 2014. Yeah, delivering mail.
Well,
walking 12.5 miles a day.
Nice. Huh.
Don't do it anymore because my Achilles is torn. So I just do office work now for a couple hours a day and go home. Yep.
Well, I mean, it's a good stable job, but I can see why you would hate that.
People, let me tell you something. People are like, oh, you just deliver mail and packages? People, I want your job. Okay, sure. Quit. You'll quit after the first 3 weeks. I promise you will. And that's why I don't recommend it. It's good money. It's great money, but it's not what I want to do. I don't get passionate. Right. Yes. When I was delivering mail. Yes, Amber, let's go deliver mail today. Yeah.
Stimulus checks. Here you go.
Yeah. Where's my stimulus? I'm glad I didn't have to deliver during that time. But the post office is different. It's ran by people. I'll say this live because I really don't care. It's ran by people that have never delivered mail before, and they try to tell us how to deliver it, which makes no sense whatsoever. It's like somebody that's never played basketball before telling me how to play basketball. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, who are you? Like, am I going to listen to you? No, probably not.
I understand.
But it's a weird job. It's good. The benefits are good, all of that, but we're not paid what we're worth. Hell no. Even our management will tell us, you guys aren't paid what you are. Well, we know that. We know that. But it's been a blessing to be in that position to work at the post office, because I tore my Achilles, which is a blessing to me because it's helped me transition into something else, which is sports. Because without me tearing my Achilles, I would have still been, well, I was starting to look at other avenues, look at other jobs, but I wouldn't be doing this right now, honestly. So,
well, most people wouldn't, since it's like 2:00 here.
Yeah. So, that's my story, Michael. You shared some great stories. I had to give you one of mine. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad that you tore your Achilles.
I am. I am. First surgery. I've done every sport known to man. This is my first surgery, and it did not happen doing a sport.
Right. Ain't that crazy? Like, I played football, baseball, and basketball quite a bit of my childhood life. The biggest injury I ever had was breaking a finger. So, I mean, rolled ankles.
Yeah, I got a dislocated finger, pinky. You can't really see it, but it kind of
No, you can. You can see it.
It kind of does some weird things that it's not supposed to do.
Okay.
But this happened. I got it caught in a jersey in college. And it just, and it just stayed that way.
And it just stayed like, I mean, okay, we're good. Put me back in, coach. Put some tape around it.
Yep. And it was throbbing. My whole hand was throbbing. I was like, oh, shit. Anyway. Yeah.
All right. But well, I think this has been a great show. It's been fun. Got to know you more.
Yeah, there we go. We've missed each other so much, guys. We've actually done 2 shows in one. You've got basketball talk. You've got life talk. You've gotten everything from us. Yeah, you've gotten everything from us tonight. We appreciate your support.
Yes.
Always. Always, always, always. Michael, your story is so amazing with your children. Please let the babysitter do her hair.
I want her hair to be done so bad.
But I'm telling you, in a couple of years, it will pass. Good. Go ahead and shout yourself out, and then we'll get out of here.
All right. MD Lawson 00. That's my Twitter, Instagram. Also, it's a new app that's been around for a while, but it's one that Unwrapped Sports starting to take by the horns, is Sports Me. And it's MD Lawson 00. Then it's USN at the end of that. You can search on the search bar USN and find everyone in the Unwrapped Sports Network that is tearing this app up, which I haven't done in probably a week or two. So I need to get back active on it. Also, my show Thursday, 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m., just with work and how closing goes with that, is Backstop Banter.
Got his mask.
Backstop Banter. And it is Thursday, like I said, and it's just all baseball. Got my co-host Connie on there where we talk everything that we can with sports. And, of course, this show, too, every Saturday. As long as Amber will have me on here, I will be on here. That's really all I got to plug.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not like you. I mean, I ain't got like.
Hold on. Simply me _AV. Follow that. Don't do that. Everything's in the bio. Bam. I'm done. Look at that.
I like, I'm going to get a little random here with you. I like how your handle name is Simply Me, but like, there ain't nothing simply of your list of what all that you do there. I mean, it's just simply me, but I've got like 5,000 things that I'm doing.
You got to broaden your horizons. You know what I mean? You got to broaden your horizons. That's all I have
to understand.
I like talking about sports, so that's what I do. I really enjoy it. So it keeps me busy too, because I don't work 8 hours a day anymore. So that stuff keeps me busy.
That's why we missed sports last year, I think. It gives us a peace of mind.
Oh, you talking about missing sports. I think I watched everything on Netflix. I had just had surgery, so I was laid up in the bed, popping pain pills, trying not to hurt. Oh, 2020, we're glad that you're over with. We want to pass you along.
We even lost The Office on Netflix during 2020. That's how bad it was.
Oh yeah, you
That
you watched The
hurts.
Office? Yeah, I tried to
Uh,
watch it, couldn't get into it.
how far did you watch into it?
5 seasons.
Oh wow. Okay, never mind. I'll be
I just
honest with you.
started. I rewatched The Sopranos instead. I'm sorry.
I watched The Office and hated it. And then the guy said, watch second season and start there. Hated it again. 2 years later, I tried it again with the second season. Then I fell in love with it.
I watched all the way through season 5. Then I was like, okay, I can't do it. Tried to watch it again. Was like, I'd rather rewatch The Sopranos. So I rewatched The Sopranos, which is a top 5 show of all time, if you ask me. But
Never
hey,
watched it. I never watched The Sopranos. I love spaghetti, but I've not watched The Sopranos.
when the kids are asleep, you and your wife need to turn on The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because it's cussing and
Duly
stuff.
noted. I know.
It's,
Okay.
it's cussing and stuff. You know what I mean? But it's a good watch. Sopranos are great.
Now,
All
when the
right.
kids go to sleep, we turn on The Masked Singer. Greatest show ever.
Really?
Do you not watch it? Oh, I love it.
I don't really watch TV like that. No.
Well, we don't even have cable. We just do it on YouTube. You can just type in Masked Singer and watch it
Oh,
all on
Masked
YouTube.
Singer. Okay. Yeah, I'm not big on like my TV might come on during the day. That's a big
Mhm.
might because I'm usually doing other things.
Nick Cannon is the host, and like anything
Yeah.
he does is awesome. So
Yeah, Nick Cannon is. I know that much. That much I know because they were talking about all the things that Nick Cannon has done, and they're bringing Wild 'N Out back, which I used to watch Wild 'N Out when I was in college, but I don't watch it so much anymore. But I knew he was on The Masked Singer because I have friends on Twitter that watch The Masked Singer, and they're like, "Oh my God, I wonder who this is. Oh my goodness, he took the hat off. I can't believe it's him."
okay, like literally, after you watch the first episode, you're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, this is really cool. I want to watch it."
Michael, see, you're doing things to me that I don't want to do, Michael. If I
Listen,
get
I'm gonna tell
into
you
it,
this.
I'm gonna be angry at you.
T-Pain
Mm-hmm.
won one season.
Okay.
So think about that. Like they're singers,
Mm-hmm.
and you T-Pain, which is a great singer, but you wouldn't have thought, hey, he's going to actually get up here and be able to sing good. When I seen it was T-Pain, I was like, what?
Wow.
So it's really good. It is really good. You'd be surprised on there. I don't know if you know any. What is her name? Sarah Palin. I'm sure you know that name. Sarah Palin, from Alaska. She was on the show and she sung "Baby Got Back."
This is interesting.
Yes, and then here's how it goes. So they sing it and then they vote and someone's off, and then they unmask them and then they like, okay, formally whatever they were character, and then they sing their song again. Seeing Sarah Palin sing "Baby Got Back" without the mask on was hilarious. Worth the show just for that.
Wow. So you and your wife, y'all don't watch TV much, or do you watch
No.
TV? Okay.
Well, the TV we watch is something kids on YouTube. These crazy stuff. There's this. I've already lost my train of thought. There's these it's basically live TV or basically watching families live of these kids, and they absolutely love it.
Okay, because you have children,
Other than
so your TV watching is different. I get that. Your TV watching is different.
Fun Squad. That's what one of them's called. It's the Family Fun Squad. Oh my goodness, it's great.
See,
don't ever
you're
watch
a family man. I'm a single woman, so my TV watching is I like
Sopranos.
Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad. Just to name some things that I would like to, I like to watch that kids don't watch or shouldn't watch.
I understand. Breaking Bad was good. I've watched it though.
Thank you. See, Michael, look at you.
I mean, come on now. I'm not that innocent.
But Sopranos is something if you like Italian and mob, Sopranos is great.
Now, have you ever watched Dexter?
I'm getting into Dexter. I think I'm on season 2.
I like Dexter pretty good.
Okay. He's interesting.
Yes, like it's not like it's Dexter. I like it to like almost try to read and understand why he's thinking that way. I like that part of it. I know that may sound
he's
a bit serial killer-ish, but
he's interesting. Season 1 was very interesting for me. I'm going to pick that back up. That Justified. I'm going to watch like in between. Probably in the summer. Well, no, the summertime might be pretty good because you get the draft, you get the finals, you get the Olympics. Ooh, Usually in the summertime, I'll watch a little baseball. In the summer, and then I'll watch like series because there's not a bunch of sports on in the summer. So the summertime is pretty much free, but this summer won't be that free because you got NBA Summer League, you got football comes on towards the end in August. Right. You'll have the Olympics this summer, which is dope, and the finals will be this summer. So it's gonna
will the Olympics be this year?
Yeah, they moved it back to 2021. Tokyo.
Wow. Okay, that is
They're
right.
Gonna do it.
I was like, wait a second, it's an odd year. That's not right. But okay.
Yeah, because they moved it to this year. So I think the Olympics happened the last couple weeks of July, first week of August. Mm-hmm. I think the NBA draft is in July this year. The finals will probably go through July, maybe. Yeah, because the playoffs don't start till May 16th, right?
So July 22nd.
Is the draft?
No, the finals. That's the last day of the finals if it goes 7 games.
Yeah, so I was right. So the summertime this summer is gonna be lit. I'm gonna
summertime.
Yeah, Will Smith and Jazzy Jeff. Yeah, so I think the summer is gonna be better than last summer, of course.
Oh, definitely. Well, I mean, okay, well. It is legit 2:00 here now, so I think I need to go to bed because I have to work at 8 in. So.
Oh, I'm sorry, Michael.
Oh no! This has been great. If there's anyone that is still here watching us, thank you.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Am I back?
Oh, there we go. You're back.
Okay. All right. Maybe it's telling us we need to get off the line here. So, Amber, thank you so much for having me on here, and can't wait to do it again as long as you keep having me on here.
Of course. We're going to be back next week. MVP Talk. We will not be on here for 3 hours. Our usual hour and a half, we will be on.
This makes up for your 2 shows you missed.
Yeah, plus a half of a third. So, yeah.
Yes.
We appreciate you guys for sticking out with us, and we will see you next week.
Yep.